Welcome, welcome, welcome to Figure Fight Club, where collectors come to play. Discussions from Valorverse to hot toys shaped by collecting weight. Pour a drink for yourself, collect your thoughts. Join us on this journey in action-packed talks. In the club, the fight is on. Action figures shine like the break of dawn. Collectors gather around, any drink will do. In Figure Fight Club, we welcome you. Welcome with the flow, with the flow. Welcome with the flow, with the flow. Raise your drinks up high and let's cheers. You're among collectors and like-minded peers. From stores to conventions, we take you backstage, exploring figures from modern day to the Stone Age. In the club, the fight is on. Action figures shine like the break of dawn. Collectors gather around, any drink will do. In Figure Fight Club, we welcome you. Welcome with the flow, with the flow.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Figure Fight Club episode 10. We are live. We've got some great guests. I am your host, Abby. Let me go ahead and bring out my co-host. You know him as Illustrated Figs. I call him Brandon.
Believe me when I say that FOMO's a bitch. Did you see the proportion?
What up?
What's
going
up,
on?
man? How you doing?
Chilling. We just crossed 700. That's pretty dope.
We did just cross 700, didn't we? So do you know what that means? That means we're going to give away an Odious. We just unlocked that Odious tier right there.
Sweet. I could always use
So-
another. Oh, I can't enter. So
Yeah, you're not allowed to enter. You're not allowed.
But you guys get to enter, so that's pretty cool.
Exactly. We have some pretty awesome guests backstage, so let's go ahead and bring them out.
Let's do it.
Let's bring out the first one, Jersey Maniac. What's up, Jersey Maniac?
What's up,
Dave,
man?
Yo,
how you doing?
thanks for having me, guys.
No problem, man.
Mr. Sunglasses has been after me for a long time for this.
Oh, dude, he's probably
I'm a-
giggity right now.
I'm a fan of your work.
I'm a fan of your work, dude. You found me pretty early after I made my page. You've been with me almost the whole time.
Yeah. The algorithm treated me when you came across my feed. I was like, oh, I like this.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And we have another guest. You guys know him as Anthony's Customs, so let's go ahead and bring him out. Anticipation, a little bit.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Hey, hi, how's it going? Thanks for having me on the show, and thanks for using the intro music. That's always fun. I never
I
get to be on
figured.
that end of it. I like it.
I mean, I figured. I know we saw you go on Laserpen's show, and he didn't play any music for you, so figured.
That guy, Bush League, I tell you.
Fucking laser pants. Unbelievable.
Oh, there he is, right there. He's in the chat.
Oh man.
Perfect comedic timing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
So
brother.
I would like to.
But
thank
no,
you
we're
both.
also a fan of your work too, Anthony.
Yeah.
Been watching your videos for a long time too, and even picked up a couple of your offerings. Some nice heads there.
Oh yeah. Hey, that looks familiar.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. Well, thank you.
I've got a few more. I just don't know where they are.
I want to say a big thank you to both of you guys for jumping on. You know, this is means we're a small channel, we're growing, so this means a lot to us. And then I want to thank the chat. You guys are awesome. You guys was what makes this stream. So thank you. Roll Keeper is in there. I see him, and Laserpens is also my mod now. So thanks for being there. And let's do it. I guess let's start with who are you guys? What do you guys like to collect?
Jersey, you're welcome to go first.
All right. I am the Jersey Maniac. I collect Marvel Legends, unfortunately. I happily collect G.I. Joe Classified. I have Valorverse. I have Mythic Legions. I have Star Wars Black. I have Monster Force. I'm really starting to get into the Rumble Society from Mezco.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I think that's about it. I have been collecting for probably close to 30 years now.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So
So you
I'm
just
in it.
never
I'm a
left the
serious. No, I really didn't. So I'm a very serious collector. I don't have time for non-serious collectors. We'll get to that later, though.
And just for the record, any McFarlanes? Any McFarlanes?
I have a few, but I'm not proud of it. So
Same.
Which well, you see that entire background of his right now?
I have a little more than a few.
That's all McFarlane's.
that's all McFarlane's. Oh my god!
It's mostly, I'd say, like this shelf and maybe that one, but all the other ones is McFarlane.
Bro, what are you gonna do if he loses that DC license? What are you gonna do?
Dude, I don't even know. We've talked about it a
man.
little bit. It's up in the air, but
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm losing
I
steam.
get-
I'm not gonna lie. I'm losing steam on it.
I mean, I won't even go there. I will let you enjoy what you like. So I will.
Hey, I'm just proud of him because he displays it proudly. I hide mine up there somewhere, so you can't even see him.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's a love-hate relationship. So
If it's not a love-hate, then you're not doing it right. So
yeah, you're not doing it right.
you know?
Yeah.
That's very true, actually.
If it was all good, it'd be too easy and be boring, right?
And then
You
you'd
gotta-
be a shill, and no one would like you. So you can't have that.
No,
Yeah.
no shilling around here.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Definitely not.
And Anthony, how about you, man? Who are you? What do you like to collect, and how long?
Okay, so I collected as a kid, then I stopped in like middle school, didn't start again until college. And being a college kid, I didn't have much money, so I figured out I could customize things and sell them, customize action figures. Started off with just crappy repaints and stuff. But that took off, so I became intimately knowledgeable about action figures through the customizing and started reviewing. And so that's what I do now. And I still do the custom stuff, it's just not commission based anymore. I don't do that. But as far as collecting goes now, technically I collect Marvel Legends. I want to collect them, but I can't really enjoy them too much these days. So I'm going to actually be offloading a bunch soon. Same thing with the DC stuff. I have a ton of those. And other than a few of the Batmans, which is most of their line, but probably going to get rid of that stuff too. Anyway, those things, figure arts, Transformers, I don't know, like everything other than like a handful of things. I don't know. It's too many to list. You guys probably have seen my channel at some point and probably have some idea. So that's it. And, I'm known as not liking things, but I do. I like lots of things. I just don't like bad things when they make bad things. It's not my fault.
I was
doing that.
We're going to talk about.
I was asked by 3 people today to ask you directly, why do you hate action figures? Why do you have this rep, dude? Like,
because people don't like reviews that are actually reviews, I guess. Like, it's not my job to say how much I enjoy the thing. I'm not doing that. This isn't like a kid's unboxing channel or something. It's like, if I didn't care, if I didn't like these things, I wouldn't be doing reviews on them. It wouldn't, like, I want them to be good. People confuse, like, what is the phrase these days? Glazing with actually liking something, and that's not how that works. So,
quick
that's
story.
just the way the world is these days.
I was looking to buy a Pattinson Batman, and not many of them are out yet. You had reviewed one for I don't remember, one of the foreign companies, like not Mayfex, but Figure Arts maybe.
Yeah.
And you were like, they sent me this to review, and then you fucking trashed it. You were like, this thing is terrible. And I was like, ooh, I like this guy. Like, now I can respect his opinion. So I don't know why people think of what you do as such a negative. Like, you're telling the truth. That's so much better than look at this piece of shit. Look how great it is. Like, no, fuck that. Tell them the truth.
That's the whole point. Like, what good is a reviewer if they only say things are good or only review things that they like or that they know are good? Like, that doesn't do anybody any good. So, yeah, I don't care if someone sends it to me or if I paid $1,000 for it. If it's bad, it's bad, and I'm gonna say it because that's what my job is. It's not that big of a deal, really. Like, I don't get it personally, but
bravo.
That's the way it goes.
You keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate it.
I
will try.
I have a comment to talk about your toxic toy reviews. Someone asked me to ask you that question as well. So
Oh, just that they're toxic? What's toxic?
So,
I mean, I would love it. Nobody ever has any explanation for these accusations. Like, what is it? What is toxic?
Oh,
It
I
makes you
know.
feel bad about money you spent? Is that it?
Because
Jersey
people are
said he
far
does.
too soft to be able to handle negativity. That's it. That's all it is. They want happy bullshit reviews.
Hmm. Yeah. But what's the point though? Like, what do you actually get out of that? I actually don't understand why people want that other than like confirmation bias. Like they just want to hear people say you spent your money good. Like I don't
I
get
think
it.
that's really what it is, though, right? Like people want to be rest assured that they spent money in the way they feel, right? They want to feel like,
Mhm.
oh, I made a good purchase here, and they need assurance that other people, popular people, are backing them up.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah, but you can
the
like
way-
things that
How
aren't
soft is
good
that?
too. So I don't get why
I
the
mean,
reviews
I mean,
matter that much.
yeah,
I bought this figure here. As you can see, the hands are not on it because they keep falling off, and I had to take off the armor too. This wasn't a good purchase. And I'm pretty sure I saw someone review this figure and they said it was amazing, and it only goes this far. Maybe if I stretch it more, like here, there you go, there you go. That's his high
You're
kick.
gonna
right
break
there.
it. Stop it.
I know.
You're gonna
Well,
break it. Stop it.
it's the cloth,
Stop it.
right? It's the cloth goods. When you take off the pants, I've heard you can go full like 90 on it. So
but
I
no,
haven't taken off the pants yet.
this stuff's
You
important,
can't
and
display them with
why?
no pants.
Well, yeah, you can't do that. But the reason I
You
like
can't.
both of your guys' channels and styles is because these conversations are important, and the more people that are like express their opinions, on the mediocre figures, that stuff has power, and change can actually happen if we're lucky. Whereas if we just accepted everything, they're gonna keep pumping out garbage, and they still pump out a lot of garbage. But for every win you get with like a better sculpt or articulation or better logistics or whatever is worth all of it 1,000 times. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Absolutely.
yeah.
So
Absolutely.
speaking on topic now, you guys talked about what you guys collect. What do you guys dislike? I know Jersey, you had mentioned McFarlane's, but what else?
I dislike anything unarticulated. So those reaction figures Brian Flynn can shove those straight up his ass. I don't believe they're even on shelves. I really don't like McFarlane's. I'm sorry, but they're gangly and they're not decoed. Like they fall apart now. Like they're actually somehow getting worse, which is impressive, really. So
I agree. I do
Yeah.
agree.
what else don't I like? I collect Black Series and I don't like that. I don't know why. I still bother.
If it makes you feel better, I actually
Um,
bought one recently too. So actually, I bought
Yeah.
two.
What else don't I like? I think that's about it. I don't like the high end stuff like it's not that I don't like it. Like Mayfex and Figuarts. Is that how you say that? Figuarts? Yes?
Figuart.
That's
Yeah,
what I
give or take.
say. Yeah.
Figuarts, whatever. I have no interest in either of those because they're way too much money for a product that doesn't look nearly good enough to me. So that's about it. Like, yeah, I mean, I would say that I like most of what's out there, or can at least appreciate most of what's out there for what it is. But except reaction, like that sort of shit just drives me insane that it even exists.
Or probably for you, would you say character choice is like a big one? Like who they decide to make versus other ones that should be made?
As far as what? As far as all lines, or
I'm trying to think. So probably like definitely Marvel Legends, Black Series. But mostly this is like a Hasbro thing. So
oh yeah, so like yes, absolutely. I mean anyone who knows me knows how much I hate MCU figures. Like I hate them more than anything I've ever hated before in my life. And they keep making them. They keep rotting on shelves, and no one does anything about it. Like I don't understand. Like the proper way to do it is what they did with the Wolverine movie. Like, hey, there's a lot of demand here, so we'll put out these 3, and then they all sold. Great, fine, no problem.
Mhm.
these Captain America figures are at every fucking Target. Like every single one I go to, they're not going anywhere. They're already on sale on Amazon. So
They'll
why
go to
did we
Ollie's
make?
eventually.
Of
Quick
course they will.
follow-up.
Just like
Yeah.
every other MCU figure.
So you know the
So-
sad thing is when I was collecting Marvel, like Hasbro Legends, I was only collecting mostly MCU stuff. So
Oh, you did backwards.
Yeah.
I went complete backwards on it. But I mean,
And if
like,
there
okay,
were
like,
more of you,
I
if
never
there were
grew
more
up
of you, I
reading
wouldn't care.
comics.
Like if they sold, I wouldn't care. You know, like but
Yeah.
then they don't. So
I mean, back when I was collecting them, they were selling because it was during like the hype of the era of MCU. It's changed a lot since then, though.
a lot.
This is true.
No.
This is
Yeah.
true.
Now the movies aren't good. So
Yeah,
like
they
think
weren't
of
done
after
performing. Yeah,
Endgame on, like
Yeah.
ugh.
yeah.
So
What weight do you put into whether it's Disney or Hasbro being like forced to make those characters? Like maybe Hasbro knows they're gonna tank, but it's part of the agreement, so they're just like, yeah, whatever. How much of weight do you put into that, knowing that it is what it is, kind of?
so that's
Or do you think it's
absolutely-
not?
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's absolutely it. That's why, especially in Star Wars, when you get bullshit from the Disney Channel that they know is not going to sell and they make it anyway. But
Yeah.
what were you saying before about trying to make some change happen?
Right.
Like you change that, you have that conversation with them and you say, listen, like our retail orders are tanking because our shit keeps going on clearance. Can we maybe stop making this crap from movies that like people aren't even watching and definitely aren't buying figures from?
Yeah.
Maybe that would make, maybe that would make sense. Certainly makes sense to me. That's the problem though. So you have Disney on that side and then the retailers are Hasbro's real customer. It's not us. They don't give a fuck about us for how long we've been collecting or anyone else. The retailers are the ones giving the money, and the idiots buying from retailer like, I want Batman, Superman, The Flash, oh, Captain America, Spider-Man. We don't want that. We want that occasionally. They want it all the time.
I mean,
So,
they
again,
know it
some
sells, right?
conversations.
That's why. They know it sells.
They what?
Like they know it sells. Like Spider-Man sells. I mean, granted, certain Spider-Man
Does you
sell.
think that's... There we
Yeah,
go. Okay,
Spider-Man
thank you.
sell.
Sure.
Correct
Red and blue
that.
Spider-Man sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Again, how
Anthony,
many Batman has McFarlane made that you've seen go on clearance?
yeah. Well, I mean, honestly speaking, I haven't really seen that many McFarlane clearances. So, but I don't hunt on a regular either. Like I just buy online and let it come to me. I see them all the
Fair
time
enough.
on Amazon, I guess.
I will
Anthony-
give them
Yeah.
credit that
Yes, you
real
would.
quick. You do not see them in Ollie's the way you see every other figure. I don't know how they're doing that.
That is true.
I'll give them that.
That is true. I will
I don't
give you
think
that.
McFarlane puts out the quantity
Yep.
because around where I live, I don't see McFarlane toys on the shelf almost at all, let alone on clearance. So I
Because
don't know
they're
what's going on
selling.
there.
They're selling. That's why.
Well, I don't go to the stores much either, but when I do, like when I'm at Walmart, I'll go look and see if they have any of the like platinum whatevers or whatever stupid new version they have of exclusivity that's not exclusive. And there's like 5 on the shelf ever at most. So I don't know. I don't know how that works.
He plays the game well with those platinums and the chases that I cannot stand. But
I don't get the whole
he's-
chase thing. I don't get it.
I mean, ask Brandon. He's got
Should
a lot
have
of
died
experience
long
chasing
ago.
I forget whose interview it was, but the literal words out of his mouth was he believes collectors love the chase. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, but that's at the store 40 years ago. That was a thing,
Right.
Not with online shopping. That's not
Yeah,
a thing
no.
anymore. All it does is create
No.
eBay exclusives. That's it.
Yeah, I
It
don't.
helps.
I don't know a single person that likes to chase. Not one. I know,
No.
literally not one.
No.
So,
Anthony, how about you, man? Like, what figures do you dislike?
What do I dislike? How broad should we go? Okay, so
I mean, just
I hate-
be honest. Yeah.
all right, so I'll start broad, then I'll try to go a little bit more granular. I hate companies that treat their customers like they owe them something.
Thank you.
It's the most obnoxious thing. I can't stand it. That's what Hasbro does. I have no idea what Todd's doing with McFarlane right now. It makes like his toys are pretty much garbage, even though I collect them. No offense to anybody who likes them. Like most of them are really bad. Some are great. Some of them are really. I own them too. I bought them too. I'm collecting. I have a box of probably 200 of them. A storage bin that.
I really like the Poison Ivy that came out from the movie.
I didn't look at that one. Okay, maybe that one's good. They have some really good ones, like a few.
Yeah, his mega figs are
anyway,
pretty fun. They're pretty good.
I don't like companies that treat their customers bad. Hasbro's the biggest offender by far, like not without question. Without question. You get the least for your money from like as far as actual collectibles go. Like we're not talking about crap dollar store stuff. That's what they're making. So anyway, I don't like companies that treat their customers bad. But that's too broad. So I don't like companies that don't improve. And Hasbro, while they kind of keep improving a little bit in some places, they're getting worse in others. Just look at that Miles figure that they just showed. Look at like 90% of the stuff they put out. Like they aren't improving at all in some categories. Their sculpts and proportions are getting worse. It makes no sense to me. And they're getting cheaper and lazier. So just general stuff I can't stand. Otherwise, I'm open to anything from like an appreciation perspective. I can appreciate any kind of figure. I don't collect soft goods, but I hate Mezco.
Is it by choice? Is it by choice you don't collect soft goods, or you just don't like the soft goods feel on your figure?
That'd be a choice.
That's still choice, I think. Nobody's forcing me. I'm an independent man. I'm a strong, powerful man. I'll collect what I like. No. I don't like the look because the scaling's always off. You know, you can't get the cloth just right. And then like the leading company that does that is Mezco, and I'm going to get a lot of flame for this. And I just can't stand their proportions. They have those giant Mego heads on their little stumpy bodies. And so
I agree.
Those are the things that bother me most about collectibles and action figures, I would say.
Shit.
So I should leave now because I probably offended too many people.
No, you got. I mean,
the thing is, like, you can like your own, like whatever you want to like. We don't have to like the same stuff. I don't care about what I like in my reviews. That's why I go by quality only. Otherwise, what's the point?
No, I agree with you. I mean, I'm a big fan of Mezco. I like Mezco figures a lot. That's probably my number one line I collect. But I also like the feel of soft goods on little plastic bodies. So.
How much You're also 100% right, though. Like, even I like Mezco, and everything you said is right. You know?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I got this just on Tuesday, and his head is gigantic for his little body.
Gigantic.
It is.
Yeah. I just noticed that. But it's also like a comic type figure, which is something I normally don't collect. So
it just doesn't work for me. And the clothing thing, like even on Hot Toys, like they make clothes really, really well for their figures, but the scaling's still just not right. It's so for me, I can't get past it. But I know some people love the soft goods, and that's all they're about. So hey, more power to you. Just not my thing.
It definitely.
I don't like
stands
statues either, by the way.
You don't like statues?
Zippers?
Anything that's not articulated isn't really my thing. Like I have a few statues if they're like fancy things, like maybe I'll get one here and there, something, but otherwise no, it needs to be articulated or that's just not fun. It's not interactive. So
don't buy this Sub-Zero.
I'm not gonna.
It's funny because I actually had a strict no statue rule and I got a few, and guess whose they are? They're McFarlane's.
Oh no.
Come on.
I definitely don't buy the smaller things.
The Magneto he did, the small Magneto, looks, because he's in that nice like pose. It looks very nice on the shelf when you put the Brotherhood around him.
Well, that company can make great product. They were doing it. When they had their Halo line, I don't know if you guys are into Halo at all, but they had a really good, strong run with Halo action figures from the video game. And they were excellent, and they were making statues for the games, and they were doing all kinds of good stuff. This was like 10 years ago. It was like top of the line, value, quality, everything other than some QC issues. Okay. Now, that's why it bothers me so much what they're doing now with the DC line, with their goofy proportions and lack of paint and weird sculpts. And I swear they don't have somebody to sculpt heads. Like they're just, I don't know, making them out of Play-Doh or something. Anyway,
there's been like one or two.
Can do such good stuff.
Yeah. I'd like to interrupt this discussion just to highlight Laser Pants. Thank you for a $10 super chat. I want to offend people that collect McFarlane. And just for
He's
that,
a nice
Laser Pants, we will play a video for you.
Hey guys, don't forget to check out Figure Fight Club.
Thank you, Laser
I
Pants.
thought you were,
Wow.
I thought you were gonna make him wink at himself.
I could do that too, actually.
That's
You go. We do have a Laser Pants super chat video.
Very nice.
Thank
Anthony,
you
you
again,
can pay
Laser
for winks.
He's charging
I
me
want
50% for every these. when
I need
play
you
them.
to buy one of the new knights from Mythic Legions, though. This is cloth. This is soft goods. This is soft goods done right.
Yeah,
So
that
if you
kind of
would
thing I'm
really
fine
like
with.
to
I'm
see-
good with that.
Yeah,
See-
like it's. I understand what you're saying, but like these, like what they have done with the new figures, so good.
So
Yeah, I'm good with stuff like that.
So I get what you're saying too. So I was again, I used to be a Mythic only collector like a year and a half ago. For a while, was it the Alithia wave that came out with every figure I opened from that wave had a QC problem. Every single figure. And
I never
like,
have any. It's so weird.
Oh,
I never
every
have any.
single. I had snaps. I had pegs. Not they couldn't hold their weapons, and I just kind of gave up. I was like, all right, something obviously changed with the plastic. I mean, granted, they probably fixed it now. But literally every single figure that I opened had issues, and that just kind of put me away. Like, and you could tell because they like use the same bucks and molds, like Romulus versus what was it, Vetus. They're pretty much the same figure, just different painted, and you could physically feel Vetus was just a more like it was a better designed or better quality figure in hand. And this is Romulus 2.0.
That's one of those age-old questions that I would love to have answered, because if you collect Marvel Legends for a long time too, like you open one figure in a wave and it's like, oh, this is different plastic than the last wave, like, and no one tells us why. Like they just do it, and it's completely random, and I would love to know why. Like, is that plastic on sale in China that week, and so that's what they use? Like, I don't know.
Probably. It sometimes it has to do with the colors that they need, and if they can get them quicker or cost or whatever, things like that. Because you can get a million different hardnesses of PVC, for instance. So they might just order whatever they can get cheaper for that figure, or if they're going to use more of it for something else where they need it softer or harder. Story of my life. Anyway, you have to they do different things like that, and so you end up with figures that feel cheap because they use the wrong one compared to what they should be using.
I didn't even think of the colors thing. But
they got to put more science into that, because like with the She-Hulk figure with the different color knees, sure, I'm sure they use the same color code for like the plastic, but it has like different reactions to the PVC versus the other kind and stuff. And when they get those samples, like, these are different. So make your adjustments in the color to have the better reactions and whatever, and you get your match. But does that cost more money? Probably. And
totally.
We don't get the ingenuity behind that in our collection. So
same time toys there. It's not different factories, because Hasbro's molds are not moving anywhere. Like they're not changing factories. They use the same ones over and over. So it's definitely more of a plastic issue than it is a factory issue.
Yeah, see, there we go.
There you go. Yeah. I feel a little kind tonight. So, can the chat throw some fist emojis in the chat? I guess. Can you guys like put
Fist
some
the chat?
Fist the chat, guys, because all these YouTubers have their own they reuse these emojis, like Unparalleled has one, and then other people I've seen. Like I want we're Figure Fight Club. We should have a fist, to fight. So let's put some fists in the chat, and then maybe we'll do a giveaway.
Oh, how fancy. Real quick, can we talk about how Hasbro revealed a HasLab in a tweet and a Facebook post today? We're just going to let that pass, or should we talk about that?
I didn't even see
What'd they
that
reveal?
until I
I
was
didn't
just
see anything.
scrolling. Yeah.
You guys didn't even see it. Oh, there's a Transformers HasLab here. I'll reveal it for you. I got it.
Is it the Transformer one? Yeah.
Yes, like no live stream, no nothing. Like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, I'm embarrassed for them. Like, this is one of the lowest levels they've ever sunk. They want people to spend $300 and they don't even want to show the thing off. They're like, oh, yeah, here it is. Yeah, go look on fucking Facebook. Like, what?
Well, the thing is
That's
that like
crazy.
just Transformers, I guess. Do they? I remember reading about it or seeing it somewhere, but do they get that much love? I guess they do. There are a lot of Transformer.
Oh,
There's probably a
they
big
all
Yeah,
Transformer
they-
base everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're
they
like
all
hidden
fun.
all the time.
Transformers is huge. Dude, think about how much real estate Transformers has in our toy aisle. Like it's the biggest section for the most part. Like that and the dinosaurs. Like
I
nothing
barely
has
see
more
any in
room
my
than them.
Target. I don't
I was
see
gonna
any
say
Transformers on my
Target,
Transformers.
don't.
I never see Transformers not in stock. Where like the Hasbro, like where the Legends are bare, the GI Joes are missing, everything's missing. Transformers is always there for me for when I shop. They got a good.
For me, it's
they
like
got
half
a good
full.
market.
Like it's,
Mhm.
but the amount of pegs they have is the
Yeah.
most pegs.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I never see
Yeah.
them at my Target at all. I see like I
We
mean,
go to
granted,
the same targets.
dude. Yeah, because everyone fucking hits my Target up. It's annoying.
You do have your Target's
We
pretty popular.
so we both live in North Carolina. North Carolina has a fairly heavy collector
Yeah.
scene. So like there's probably about 5,000 in a group. We have a toy collector group that's local.
Wow.
So all these fuckers are hitting up Targets, Walmarts every single day, and like, hey, look what I found. So I just kind of gave up hunting because of that reason. Because I never
Yeah.
found
Wait a
anything.
minute. You have a local group of 5,000?
Yeah,
Is that what you just said?
yeah.
Well, it spans
local?
over like the
It spans
state.
over the entire state, but
But like
Okay.
the origin
Okay,
chunk
that's
is probably
not
like a
local.
good.
Okay.
the area,
Yeah.
the main collector areas, and like we live in
probably
that area.
It's probably like a good 1,500 that are in the
Yeah.
triangle area, like
Yeah,
in the
at
group.
least
Yeah.
probably more. To
Wow.
be honest, with you.
Probably
yeah.
probably more. Yeah.
Yeah. So we
When
have
I
a
go-
fairly
next
large
time I go to-
collector population.
Next time I go to Target, I'm going to count the amount of stickers that Target has available on the pegs and on the shelves underneath,
Yeah.
and we'll show you. I'll tag you in it there.
I'm curious now. Shit. We saw a lot of fists in the chat, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a giveaway quickly, if you guys don't mind, or at least set one up. Share the screen.
Wish I could see the chat. How come I can't see the chat? Why can you have all
There's
the fun?
there's a button when I think you're in private. You have to go to public. I think on the
It
top
just says
right.
comments.
Oh man.
Oh, just maybe the comments.
Oh, comments.
Yeah. There you go.
So everyone hashtag.
There we go. Now I
Crimson.
see it. Okay.
We're gonna give away a Elite Praetorian from Valaverse,
Ooh.
Wreck ship is my
and you guys could enter. this
guy.
too. You guys could
Give it to
enter
him.
this too.
Oh boy.
Just an FYI. And while I have everyone distracted,
Oh,
make sure to
nice.
hit that like button, guys, please. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, we are on a road to 1,000 subscribers. We just unlocked 700 like 2 minutes before the stream started. I appreciate that. We're on the way to 1,000 by March 7th, literally 30 days from now. So make sure to subscribe. We're going to do a giant giveaway party stream where we'll be giving away a lot of things. I'll go ahead and share that.
And do us a favor. Just scroll down a little bit and double check and make sure you actually are subscribed, because as we're learning, we're studying our stats in the background,
Yeah.
and we're learning that a lot of people watch because the algorithm is strong, but you might not be subscribed because it'll still show you our video coming up. So just double check and hit the button.
Hit the button. So
How many
here's we
people
just
are in the chat?
there's 84 right now. I see.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
no, it's exciting. So we just unlocked ODS, so we'll be giving that away as part of the party stream. Once we make it to 1,000, we're gonna give a HasLab Dragonfly away. That's a part of the deal.
Wow.
So
Fresh in the box.
fresh in the box, you got to make it up there. So let's make it happen, guys. We'll pull this in a little bit. We'll get back to this.
Haslab Dragonfly. Look.
Are you
Oh, yeah.
trying to hide?
No, it's right there behind him. He's got
Oh,
it.
there's one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a fairly good conversation just now, and we're going to take a break from that and just talk about some pickups. Did you guys get any pickups?
I got the Necronominus wave, which I am a big fan of, and I highly recommend to everyone listening and watching. It is one of the best waves of action figures I have ever opened. And I, like my friend Anthony here, I am a tough critic. So I would not say that lightly.
Are you gonna?
I'll-
you want to show one of the?
Okay,
Yeah,
here we go.
go
Here's one
show
of them.
one of the.
I've already shown it.
It's fine.
But
We'd like
there
to
it is
look at.
again.
So you said that.
Lego Galaxy.
Is this now? Is this is the new wave? Is it double jointed or is it single jointed still?
They haven't gotten that far yet.
They haven't. I guess the
Nice.
newest wave is gonna have the double joint.
Remember, these were 3 years
Wait,
ago.
what? I'm
so
sorry.
here.
These were 3 years ago. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah,
Well, he
they
was
were
asking
ordered
if-
in 20. We ordered them
Yeah.
in 2022.
2022. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm starting to get flashbacks of the
Like,
pre-order.
why does this happen? 2022. But yeah, no, it's great. Like this is as good as a night is ever gonna get. Soft
Yeah.
goods. Like it's amazing.
Nice. Anthony, how about
other
you?
than I was gonna say real
Sorry.
quick, other than Necronominus, because he's the big ticket item, who's your favorite out of them not Necronominus?
I would have to say the Heavens brand guy, whatever his name is. It's like the leader of the Eagle people, the Holy Rollers.
Right. He's got the
That
with the
figure is
shield with
really
the,
nice.
the
But
big
the,
eagle on it. Yeah.
yeah. But the Grim Reaper figure is really nice too. That it's not easy to pick a favorite. Well, actually, that's not true. You already cut me off with Necronominus. He is the best
Well,
one.
'cause-
Like he's
yeah.
the crown jewel. If he was a more sturdy figure on his horse, I would have brought that in and shown you. But he's on the shelf and he is never moving off there. That's it. One move.
Yeah. Okay. Anthony, how about you? Anything to showcase?
I got two things. I brought two things to show and tell. The first one is the Mezco Mega Man, or not Mezco,
I was gonna say, that's not
MDLX.
Okay.
3-0.
3-0.
MDLX,
3-0.
yes. It's pretty cool. It's all right. It's all right. And then the one that I like the most that I got recently is this guy. Where's the camera?
Dude.
There it is. Which is the Transmetal Megatron from
Yes.
Transart. Unlicensed.
Oh,
I don't
Wow.
care because I love Beast Wars.
I'm so
And-
jealous.
And this is so nice, and so is their Dinobot that I had to. There it is.
That's
So
awesome.
like these are the best
Wow.
third-party things I've
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
seen in terms of just finish and quality. I don't know how well you
They
gonna,
are.
maybe it'll focus. Focus. Come on.
You scream at it a little bit.
Come on. It's well, I don't know why it's not focusing, but anyway, it's got a really nice finish. It's so good looking, and it transforms, and it has the back
How many
row.
of those
it
do you
transforms.
have? How many
The
trans-
Transart,
yeah.
I have
Yeah.
I have this guy, I have Dinobot 2, and I have Optimus. That's it so far. I'm gonna get all of them at some point, but that's all I have right now.
Personal
I have more.
recommendation is dude, the Tarantulas is
Yeah.
dope.
He's next
So-
on my list. Well, him or Cheetor too. But yeah, Tarantulas looks so good. I can't wait to get
Yeah.
that one. I'm a Beast Wars sucker, so I'm gonna get them all
Same.
for sure.
Same.
But yeah, I was thrilled when this guy showed up and he looks as good as he does because it's not easy to do the chrome and stuff, and they nailed it. Looks awesome.
Yeah.
How much was it?
I don't know. It was whatever they cost at Big Bad Toy Store. I don't remember. I
They're,
bought
they're
it.
honestly
I-
they're not bad. Like
it's like
I
150.
wanna say, like,
maybe.
yeah.
Okay.
And
I don't
the
remember.
cheaper
I
ones, too,
pre-ordered
they
it
go for,
forever
like,
ago.
80.
I
Yeah.
can check real quick.
So while he looks that up, I want to showcase Just Jeff, $2 super chat for smokes and road beers and giveaways ? Yes, we're doing the giveaway right now. #Crimson to get a chance to win the Elite Praetorian from Valiverse. And again, Jeff, thank you for the $2 super chat. You get a laser pan. I'm never gonna get tired of that one, dude. It's so funny. Thank you very much, Double J.
That guy's
And,
145, by the way.
145. That's really nice,
It does
though. It is nice and
transform.
shiny. It's really
It's
nice.
big and it transforms and it has accessory. It's worth it. I mean, if you're into that
Yeah.
stuff, they're nice.
Sure.
They're nice.
Very nice.
That's it for me.
Okay, perfect.
Oh no, hold on. I actually do have
oh,
one more. I don't have
oh.
it to show. My review just went up yesterday or the day before. It was the panda from World of Warcraft from Medi Toys. It has soft goods, which are really nice, and it's an excellent figure. I didn't buy that; they sent it, but it is really good and it has soft goods, so it made sense to add it to the conversation.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Look
Yeah,
Look
Medi-
at you
Medi Toys is
liking
killing it.
action figures. Unbelievable.
I know it's amazing. It's amazing.
And some soft goods.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I know.
It's a whole new world, man.
You know what's funny? If we can just take just a second to talk about this,
course.
people think like I get something out of being negative. Like it's hurting my channel. It's never been helpful for me to have people hate me over action figures. It's not a good thing in terms of like monetary incentives or anything like that. It does not help. So I don't know why everybody thinks it's some kind of like shtick or something like that. It wouldn't be helpful to do that. If you're starting a YouTube channel, just say everything is awesome. Just sell out, chill, do whatever you have to do. People will like you more and you'll make more money.
Disregard all of that advice. Disregard all of that advice, people. Please don't do that. We have enough of those. We don't need more. Be like Anthony. Tell the fucking truth.
Exactly.
But I can't say that. I can't say that. So thanks for adding that.
No, it's funny because when I got the Diamond Select Apocalypse, I was like, it's pretty snazzy, it's pretty nice, and I liked them. I put them on the shelf, and then I watched the review, and then you were like, this isn't even like how he looks in like the artwork, and you showed all the comparisons, and I look at it, and I'm like, son of a bitch. It isn't right.
Yeah, it's a curse. It's a curse, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
People tell me all the times, oh, I didn't see that until you brought it up, and now I can't unsee it. Welcome to my world. It's rough out here for when companies don't try. I guess
But
that does though.
it's a
If it makes you
good
feel
eye.
better, that does match like some like X-Men Legends video game or something. It matches the cover art on that, so that will help you feel better about that purchase.
My favorite thing you do are the photoshops, because especially when they spend the money on the new tooling and they do it wrong, it costs them like you say, no extra money to just do it better. Like, and it's
amazing.
It's astonishing just how.
And none of them, except for like 2 molds, look like comic characters at all. I don't get it for the Marvel Legends. It's just crazy to me. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, you have some good pickups too. Before we jump over to Brandon, I want to bring back the hashtag Crimson. We're giving away the Elite Praetorian. I'm going to pull on it very soon. There's 90 people watching. Only 49 have entered. So last chance, guys.
49 have entered. What are you doing?
This is actually probably one of the better figures. And you guys could enter too if you guys do want this. Just FYI.
No, I have one, but thank you. Thank you.
I mean, yeah, they're one of my favorite ones from the line. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull it.
Oh shit, just like that.
I mean, I just said I was going to pull it soon, right?
Yay.
Yay. Good luck, guys. And yes, Mrs. Figure Fight Club, you are not allowed either. Nis. Congrats.
Nice. Nis.
Congrats, Nis. Make
Whoa,
sure
Jersey.
to...
Whoa. The wife has entered the chat. Look at that. Hello, my beautiful. What a nice girl she is.
All right, let's go to Brandon. How about you, man? Do you have anything to showcase?
I got one thing. It's kind of large. Let me see if I can grab it. I've been waiting for this because, as some of you know, I'm building an arena. And this is a kind of a big deal, big part of the arena. It's probably the most important piece.
This
is for wrestling, by the way.
Yeah.
I got my giant Raw is
Nice.
War ring. This thing is fantastic. I didn't know that I needed one of these until I put it together. It's literally like a shrunken down ring. I mean, the fabric on it, the attention to detail, the turnbuckles, the throwback Raw's War, Attitude Era, best era, arguably there is. I cannot wait to get going on the arena. I'm going all out. We're gonna have lights, stage, effects. Maybe I might set the house on fire, a little bit of pyro. I'm gonna try not to do that, but it's gonna be epic.
I think, like he even already made like an entryway with like metal.
Oh,
like
I gotta
real
go
metal.
bigger. It's not big enough. Because I was scaling it off of the small rings, but this is like twice as big. The stage is gonna get an upgrade for sure.
Definitely.
Nice. Very nice.
That's what's up, man. Anything else? No.
No.
Okay.
No.
We already showed off this Joker on Tuesday. I've been playing around with it a little bit more. Now I can't get over the big ass head it has. Thanks, Anthony.
I hate it now. Ugh.
Speaking of wrestling, I did get this Cody Rhodes, dashing Cody Rhodes yesterday or today. I can't remember.
Yeah, with the face shield. Yeah.
It has a face shield. It has like a brown paper bag that goes on top. And then I got another Purgatory, which
Ooh.
Yeah, cool.
honestly, it's a loose collector, and it's like I think Anthony would have some words for it. So
Looks nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's aesthetically pleasing. Articulation wise, it's not that great, but it is what it is.
Is what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get back on topic. Where were we at? Sorry. Before we jump into all these things, I wanted to talk about Anthony's rival collectibles.
Oh yeah, that's a
So
thing.
you're making your own figure line. I saw the video too.
All right. Yeah. Do you have specific questions? Should I intro like what it is a little bit first? You want me to
Yeah.
just talk about it real
Yeah.
brief?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's talk about it.
So, a few years ago now, I stopped working on it a while ago because everything in my life happened all at once. We had deaths in the family. I moved. I got married. I had a kid. Anyway, the line's gonna happen eventually. Right now, it's on hold. But it's a I guess you would call it like cyberpunk ninja / samurai sort of thing. It's basically like if you were a kid in the 90s and you wanted ninjas from the future sort of thing. That's kind of like what I'm going for there. And so I'm just making, they're going to be 1/12 scale, probably closer to what Hasbro does with 1/12 scale for Marvel Legends. Just because I want them to fit in, even though that's not really 1/12 scale. They're going to be like that. But they're going to be super articulated in the simplest way I can do it, though, so that I can save money and make them cost as little as possible while looking awesome and posing really well. That's probably a good enough intro for it. So, and if anybody needs to see more, I don't want to direct you away from this channel right now, but the main video on my main channel page is the video I made about that. So you can look into it a little bit more detail there. But if you have any questions or anything like that, I could answer them. Otherwise, that probably pretty much covers it.
And what I could do also is I'll drop the link to the main video in the description. That way, it's just easier to find.
Cool.
Yeah.
You should review one and trash it when they come out. Just for
I'm expecting people to review them and say bad things just because of how much of a hater I am about everything that everybody likes all the time. So I'm just expecting all of these people who just praise everything to say how bad they are. And it's like, I get comments all the time. Anytime I talk about it or anytime I say something bad or anytime, they're like, oh, Hasbro's making figures and yours, where are yours? It's like you're comparing a guy in his basement to the biggest toy company on the world. I think I'm already winning. I'm winning that one. Even if they don't come out anytime soon. But anyway, my point is, it's like they better be perfect because you're such a hard reviewer. They're not going to be perfect. I'm working with a budget just like anybody else. I'm going to do the best I can. A lot of companies don't do that, so I think they'll probably turn out pretty good. But it's like people have these crazy expectations for these things, and it's like, why don't you have those expectations for the multi-billion-dollar company? Why are you giving me a hard time? It's annoying as heck. Which is why I quit. No, I didn't.
What a smart person would think, though, going into this, would be that, wow, his standards are really high. These are probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
You would think that, yeah, and I'm aiming for that. You know, I'm gonna do the best I can, but I'm still using a factory to make them, so there's gonna be production errors and things like that, like anything else. You know.
Yeah. Well,
I'm buying one.
The difference too.
I'm buying one now. I didn't know about him, so I'm buying one, kid.
Cool.
I've followed your progress on him. I really liked when you showed off the articulation and everything. And if for those of you that don't know, he's not just drawing up concept art and shipping it off. Like, you sculpt all these too, and they're exactly to your specification. So
that's the other thing that's kind of interesting about it is, I mean, I think it's interesting is most people pay people to make stuff for them, and I'm not knocking it. Like, that's what everyone does, but most people, especially people doing Kickstarters and things like that, they say, this is what I want. Here's some money, you make it for me, and I will sell it. I'm designing them from scratch. I mean, I've talked to my friends, and there's like some people have designed a head or something like that, whatever, just for fun. But I'm designing these from head to toe, articulation, sculpt, everything from scratch, design stage, sculpting stage. I've made 3D prints. I've done molding, casting. I'm doing everything when it comes to the development process. I won't be producing them. That'll still be a factory. But whenever that ends up happening, somebody will be doing the production, of course. I'm not making 10,000 action figures in my basement. But yeah, I'm doing every part of every stage of the development myself. So we'll see. We'll see if I can put my money where my mouth is, but you can see the prototypes and judge for yourself.
Oh,
I will do that right after this show.
Good.
I don't. Somebody's asking if I have a prototype to show. I don't have it right here. I don't know. I don't even know where they are. I moved like 6 months ago, so everything's all boxed up and stuff. But also my prototypes were 3D printed mostly, and so they're all broken and stuff now. But I did show them on my video, so you can see them.
Yeah. I mean, they looked really nice in the videos, and Rollkeeper, one of the moderators, did link it as well, and I'll put it in the description after the show.
Cool.
I guess one of the questions: what is y'all's expectations from toys today?
Them to be good.
To not suck.
No.
Well,
right. So real answer to that question. My expectations are almost never met because I want this ridiculous notion that kids are going anywhere near the shit that we buy from the toy aisle. Like, I want that gone. I want everything to be made directly for me. I'm the one that spends money on them. I don't wait for ollies. I don't do that bullshit. Like, if I want it, I'm buying it at full price. And yet I'm not even considered now. Like, how often this is for new collectors and moms and kids make shit for me.
Yep.
That's my expectation, and it is never happening. So
to play off that, I don't know if we can remember this far back, but can you remember as like maybe like a 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old like collecting? When did you start caring about the details that we care about now? Because like when I was a kid, I didn't care. I was like, that's reuse, that's whatever, that's da-da-da-da. I was just like, that's a cool character. So what they're trying to, like you're saying, they're not gauged that way for like a kid, because like we're the ones who notice all the detail and notice all the stuff and all this articulation they're trying to put into it. Because if they could cop out and make a kid's line to do that with, so I don't remember. Like, yeah.
But I think
the question is, when did I start caring? That's the question?
Yeah.
When you switch from I'm gonna play with these and beat the shit out of it to I'm gonna stand it on my shelf for the rest of its natural life.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to say, like, I also think that one of the biggest differences is they're not catered to kids really anymore either.
Dude.
Hasbro knows there's no kids buying their toys. No parent's going to buy their child a $25 action figure.
Then why does it say 4 and up on the goddamn box?
Because,
Like,
dude, they know who's buying the toys. They know.
But they're costing us things like we're gonna get to this Spider-Man soon, right? Because I can't hold it in much longer. Like, are we almost there?
We can jump on Spider-Man. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let's jump on this Spider-Man because I've even written shit down to make sure I don't forget anything.
He's
I didn't
looking
make
at his notepad.
I
Let's do
didn't-
it.
I didn't make a video about this because I was waiting for them to actually like announce the price. But someone who gets the links, someone told me a long time ago that the price as of now was $50.
Makes sense.
That was my guess.
A Marvel Legend with no Build-A-Figure in it is not worth $25. Would any one of you disagree with that? No.
But what about the cool little comic books inside of it?
You mean those figures with no articulation?
That was yes.
Have you seen those? They are on a piece of poster board as a card. Like the card is this big, the figure is this big, and the comic with the little fucking arrows pointing to it. Like, are you kidding? Like, again, how utterly embarrassing. Like, what are you doing?
Hey, I am not proud that I just paid $25 for this on the retro card.
Right. Like, that's not worth
it.
$25. I bought Kane and Electro. They're nice figures. They're not worth $25.
Mm-hmm.
When you would now account for how many times did we buy the Bucky Cap mold, the Pizza Spidey mold? Even now, it's not even that old. How many times have we bought Vulcan and the Shriek body? Like, we buy it over and over again. It's never less money. So now there's people on Facebook like, well, it's a new mold, therefore it's worth $50. And it's like, are you actually serious right now? Like, what is the matter with you? It's not worth double. People piss themselves when they raise the price from 22 to 25. Now you're online saying, yep, double, 50. I'm cool with it. I'll pay it. Like, what is wrong with you? The only way I'm okay with somebody actually buying this figure is if you know you're getting ripped off. Like, you guys, like Mr. Glasses was on with Laser Pants and he said, that's way too much money, but I'm a sucker. I'm going to buy it anyway. Fine. No problem. I get it. If you're going to tell me that this is worth $50, and then you're just flatly wrong. Like, it's not a matter of opinion. You're wrong. The shit that they have packed in does not make it worth $50. That shit's going in a drawer. Once again, the 4+ on the box makes it so that long web accessory can't be wired. That would make it so it's actually usable. But no, they have a stand for that to make you fully aware that you're going to put it on his wrist and it's going to lose its erection instantaneously. By the next day, it's worthless. In the drawer it goes. Worthless. All those things. The head is the human head. The Parker head is downright laughable. No one's using that thing into the drawer. You can't display it with fucking 7 hands on it all at the same time. You use 2. So what are these accessories really adding? Nothing. They made a neck. That's it. On top of that, no sculpted lines yet again. Oh, why is that? Well, asshole, I'll tell you. Because they're going to repaint this mold over and over and over again because that's what they do.
I mean, you got Symbiote Spider-Man, you got Daredevil, you got a lot of people.
There's a million suits. Yeah.
Let me rant. Just let me rant. This is the only time. Let me rant.
Let
me rant. They're going to put a shirt on it for Scarlet Spider. They're going to paint it black. They'll do any other Spider-Man that they could possibly do. Like you said, they'll probably make Daredevil work all the time. So why am I paying extra for this now when you're going to give it to me 75 times? Why? Why do I have to pay double now? It is absolute bullshit in every possible way. Now, one of the three of you, give me one argument as to, wait, one more thing. The blue is really dark, so they'll repaint it with a lighter blue as well.
Of course.
Because of course you will. Now, one of the three of you, give me one thing that makes that figure worth $50. Go.
It's Spider-Man.
You got nothing. Anthony won't even try. He knows.
There's nothing. The only reason they can do it
Nothing.
is because of social media. That's it.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't even announce the price. They let everybody build up the hype and talk about how great it is and how they're going to have the new best Spider-Man. And by the time the price comes around, they've already all talked about how they're going to buy it. So it doesn't matter how much it costs. And then everybody's going to buy it pretending they're a high roller buying a $50 Marvel Legends and then justify it. And then Hasbro's going to do 60 next time and then 70, and we're still buying garbage. And they can't even get the webbing right on the face. Why? Since when is Spider-Man's web between his eyes this shape? Why is it an oval between the eyes? And why are the eyes wrong? Like, they can't do anything right, and people justify it. That's why.
Well, the thing
This
is,
new tooling thing. Hold on. New tooling. This is like the age-old thing that someone on the internet said at some point. Someone said, repaints pay for new figures, right? We've all seen that at some point or another. Never came from Hasbro, came from one dude on the Whoosh in fucking 2003. And since everyone only likes positivity and fucking flowers and daisies, let's go with that. Yeah, the repaints, they don't line pockets. They're not cheap. Well, they pay for new figures. Then why am I paying double for this Spider-Man that comes with bullshit? Why?
That's the thing.
What's the new tooling? What's new on this figure that we haven't seen? A neck. That's it. That's it. If it is cheaper, then if they do decide to change the price, because that's clearly what the point is, they sent the Marvel team out to try to sell it, and they tried real hard. Spent a lot of time. You could tell that they were all tense about it. They're like, yeah, this is going to cost a lot of money. We know it, so we're going to really try hard. So sure, could they change it and drop it down to 40? Okay. If it is 40, is it worth it? No, it's still not worth 40, but it's better than 50. 50 is outrageous.
so he might be trolling you too, Jersey. Just FYI,
Well,
Blake is known
the
to
thing
be a
is,
He might, and that's
Anthony,
okay. You control me. That's fine.
we were talking about how they spend all the money to do the tooling in the first place. Just do it right. There's nothing new in this figure that they have. There's nothing new to the table that they're bringing in this figure. They're just like, this body should have been the Renew Your Vows body in the first place, with like the higher up shoulders. And
Yes.
you know, we don't know
course.
all what it can do because we don't have it in our hands yet, but it is marginally better than the Renew Your Vows body, but it's just another of the same thing. Like it's unbelievable. Like,
Well, the thing about
It's going
repaints
to sell
and
out, too,
paying for
because-
stuff,
oh yeah,
it'll definitely sell out. The thing about repaints
No question.
is, go ahead.
Oh, me?
Was somebody
It's
saying
going to sell.
something?
Nothing sells better than a red and blue Spider-Man. Like, so they do know that.
Yeah.
That's why they're starting with this one. How are you selling me a Cap? How are you selling me an Iron Man for $50? How are you doing that? What are you putting in that pack that's going to get that done? The Hulk. How much are you even going to charge me for the Hulk? I would pay this $50 for Spider-Man with a smile if you told me Hulk was going to be $50 too. He won't be.
it's gonna be a shitty Hulk if it is $50.
Yes, exactly. Carry on, sir. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. The thing about the repaints is it's a true statement when the company is releasing new molds, not when you get one new mold every 150 figures. Like when NECA is making new molds for every figure and then they do the repaint game, that's paying for it, and that's perfectly justified. That's not what's happening now, and people are still using the same argument for Hasbro, where we got 1,000 Bucky caps. I think we're already at 2,000 Vulcans. They hit that road running with Vulcan. It's crazy. And so that argument isn't anything anymore. These figures should be like $1.50 at this point with the amount of reuse they're doing and the lack of paint and everything. This whole what are they called? Maximum? Is that what it is? These
Yeah,
Marvel
the
Legends?
maximum. Yep.
To me, it's the absolutely most absurd thing in collecting right now. It's like there's no Hasbro Marvel Legends figure that's even close to this price point without being a whole new thing, like ground up, rebuild it, new articulation, everything. That's not what they're going to give people. It's going to be another basic Marvel Legends with 10 cents worth of pack-ins, like you said, that nobody cares about. Is it going to look cool in a package? Yeah, cool enough. Sure. That, like, this maximum thing looks like what the $26 price point should be every single time.
Every
not
single time.
50.
Yep.
I would pay $26 for this. I mean, I'm going to pay $50 for it. I have to review it, and I know it's not worth it, and it's ridiculous.
But you'll
Right.
probably end up
But-
selling it afterwards.
But that's see again though.
We'll see. I mean, if it's good enough, I'll keep it and just know that I got ripped off. But like, they can't even get the webbing right on the head. That just drives me insane. Like, how do you screw such simple stuff up on your new Primo stuff? It's crazy.
Mhm.
It's
I almost don't want to suggest this, but what they really should have done is make these molds so good, like I love like Mafex's style knees, how they hide inside the joint, and they're a lot more like the back of the calf can touch the back of the thigh. You can't do that with a lot of Marvel Legends, but they should have made these bodies so premium that they can only be used in this maximum line because they cost more money. But like, and we don't know like what their plan is, but it's just not there.
Sure we
it's
do.
Just
Sure,
it's not there.
we know what
It-
the plan is.
it is a
There's
little
no
Do
interesting.
you think they might? Do you think they'll put this body in a regular release potentially?
I think
yes,
they
I
will.
do.
I think the
Again,
regular
I
releases
don't-
are going to skew towards this one. They're going to go up to $30. If they can sell $50 for this figure that's barely better than a normal figure, Marvel Legends are going to be $30 or $35 soon, standard release, and then they'll use these parts.
They'll make
and
you
then
think
it's
you're
over.
getting a
And then,
bargain.
like, no one's paying
Yeah.
that. Like, I'm not paying that.
Yeah.
I have.
Well, don't say no
I-
one's paying that. No reasonable people are paying that. There are so many Hasbros out there that are going to pay it happily so that they can be cool on the internet. That is definitely what's going to happen.
Like, so just for me, every ounce of my body wants to buy Marvel Legends. Like, most of what you see here is Marvel
same.
fucking Legends. I'm not paying $35. I flatly refuse. Especially because, like, it still won't change. Like, the characters we get are entirely dictated by the least amount of deco and the parts to reuse. That's it. Doesn't matter that we want. They told us years ago in that Excalibur pack that Rachel Summers was too much new for that pack. Fine. Still don't have her. Why? Because she's still too new. Think of that. 3 years later, still too much new. Doesn't matter what we want. Doesn't matter what we request. Only matters what they can reuse. And that's bullshit. That's what has to change.
But what do you mean? We get these guys. We get stuff like this.
Throw that out. Seriously. Like, just you're embarrassing yourself. Just throw it out.
What's funny is I got this because it was the only one of this wave on the shelf, and I needed something just to fix. And but then I was like, I'm gonna go to the other Target, and if I would have went to the other Target first, they had the Chameleon, and that's a good figure.
Oh.
I love the Chameleon figure, and I would have gotten that one and not bought this one because this is gonna go on clearance. But the Chameleon's pretty dope. Like, that's what I'm saying. I
No
don't.
question.
I'm not everything has to go on clearance to do it. If it's worth the money and you're just wowed by it on the shelf, it's an instant buy. I don't need it to go on clearance. But when it's all crap, like, why wouldn't you wait? You know what I mean? It's just they're doing it to themselves. And then,
So-
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. They know that. Like, Hasbro has to know that. And they still don't change. Like, they have watched how much of their product gets shipped to Ollie's. And nothing has changed. Like, why? Why?
At this point, they're gonna peel it back so even these guys are rare, and you're gonna feel like you have to pay full price, and then we're
We'll
all
see.
screwed.
So before
I promise
before we jump to that avenue, I do have a question. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the wrestling figures and wrestling line from WWE, but they not recently, in the last like a year and a half, they released an Ultimate line, which is like better articulation. You get the butterfly joints, different chest and hip torso,
Switch out
articulation.
arms and
Switch out
multiple
arms.
heads.
But the price difference wasn't that different, right? Like, I mean, it was a little different. It was like, it's $22 versus like $35. Yeah, 35.
Yeah.
So that it was like a $13 difference between them, and you get better accessories, you get more cloth goods stuff, and you get like switch out arms and things like that. If it's something similar to that, like, which is what I'm expecting, that's the direction Hasbro's kind of going with this. Will there be like a $15 difference? Probably. So a Marvel Legend is what, 25 right now? So add 15 to it. So $40. Would you guys buy that?
Nope.
If they give you enough
Nope.
stuff, then sure.
Yeah.
If there's
Yeah.
enough in it, that's the only thing that determines it. Somebody in the comments was saying how it's a bad faith argument that we're talking about $35 now. No, I was saying they're gonna sell these new ones, these fancy ones at $50, and then they're gonna hike the regular ones up to 35 because they got people used to paying $50. It's two separate things: the premium ones and then the regular garbage, which they're both garbage, but that's what's gonna happen. And so yeah, if they add pack-ins and stuff like extra arms and things, I want Marvel Legends to be good, and I'd be happy to buy them if they give you anything close to worth your money. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I just want good Build-A-Figures. I want good Build-A-Figures in every wave. Like, we are not going to get the characters that, like, there's still so many to make, and they're not going to release them single-carded. So,
I think they're gonna. The way it's going, give it like 2 years, maybe even 3. I think Build-A-Figures are going away. They're just how many did we get?
I think they're on their way
That's what
out
the retro
now.
card was for.
It's so sad.
Yeah, it really is. Because I can't wait for these fucking mini comics to hit the shelves. Like, it's one of those stupid industry terms, perceived value. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell by look. Like, again, the card is ginormous, and there's almost nothing on it. Like,
Look at that electrode that they shoved inside of a deluxe box to sell it for more, when they've done just as much tooling and other stuff, and they can put it in a normal size box and sell it for 25. And there's no likeness to it. There's no likeness.
But I was gonna say, didn't they pretend there was a likeness behind the face?
I
No,
mean,
they didn't pretend. I thought they pretended that.
But he's literally like not there. Like,
Yeah.
Can't imagine why they saved that one for last. I mean, I can't imagine. It's the last one. You need it. They know we love teams. They ignore that most of the time. But hey, this is the last one, so let's rip people off for it. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he will.
No.
Absolutely. No question. 15 by Black Friday. Write it down in pen. It is a lock.
Now,
I'd get it for 15.
Hasbro made an announcement recently about reducing their toy lines and focusing more on games. Now, do you think this is just a ploy of creating FOMO?
Where did you see this announcement?
I don't know. It was all over Instagram. People have been talking about it.
So the only place I can see that came from is from some weirdo like Cybertron spelt funny, some weird article with no quotes and nothing to back it up. And then some weirdo in a basement made the video with also no quotes and nothing to back it up based off of that article.
Yeah.
So I literally don't know what people are talking. Like, not much gets past me. If there's an actual announcement from
does his
Hasbro,
research.
I'm going to hear about it. I didn't like those people use. Well, they're not making Power Rangers toys anymore.
Well,
that's not old news. Power Rangers were not selling, folks. That's why they're not making them anymore. The Playmates figures will sell no better. It's unfortunate. I collected that line. That's just the way it is.
I do too.
So I have not seen anything real from Hasbro that this is actually a thing. They have mentioned that they're getting out of movies. They have mentioned that they want to make games. Great. I don't think anything will affect us at all. Because again, when you think of how much real estate they have in the aisle at Target and Walmart, what company is getting rid of that? The retailer is the customer. It is not us. Retailers are the customer. Retailers are still ordering things. Therefore, they're not going to make any less. So unless you can find some actual quote from the cockbag himself, the CEO, then we'll talk about it. Exactly. I thought it was true. It was said on the internet. I want you guys to find this guy in his basement making this video. You have to watch it. He's like, well, other websites are porting it, and he points his camera at Action Figure Insider. Then you go to Action Figure Insider, and there's nothing mentioning it. Like, it was the weirdest thing I have ever seen made on Instagram. So I don't think there's anything to this yet.
I mean, a lot of companies do create FOMO, though. That's a thing.
I have no problem.
I mean, I've seen Horseman do it all the time, so.
show. God, they're the
Yeah.
kings of it, and it doesn't
Oh,
work.
yeah.
Like anything that they
Yeah.
try to create FOMO for, like these $70 repaints that are retail appreciation. Like, I don't believe there's even close to enough people buying these that they're continuing with that. But if they wanted to go back to the days where like Cockbag did say they're going for and did he exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Mr. Laserpants. He anyway, what was I saying? I lost my. You made me lose my train of thought. Fucking Laserpants.
4 Horsemen and the retailer appreciation.
Oh yes, the
rebates.
FOMO. So
Yeah.
okay, so if they wanted to go back to the real pre-pandemic levels where like you actually had to go to the store to find stuff, I have no problem with that. Like that's fine. Like the people want this shit to be on shelves at all time. They want to be able to go into Target at 8 o'clock and be like, "Yep, all my shit." It doesn't. It's not supposed to work that way. It's not. So I have no problem with Hasbro making stuff rarer. I really don't. I'll still get it.
Yeah.
Just don't do like McFarlane. We don't want Hasbro platinums and chases. We don't.
No
want that.
chases. Yeah. No. No chases. No. Yeah. No. You guys remember
Color-
running changes? Like, do you remember when they brought back Legends and
Oh,
like
God,
Underball
yes.
running changed into Pile Driver? Oh my God. I'm going to throw up just thinking about that time. Oh,
Now,
change.
Anthony, how about you, man?
How about me? What exactly?
Like, just on the thoughts of companies creating FOMO.
Oh, the FOMO thing. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like everything's always limited. They can't make unlimited amounts, and they don't want their product looking like it's not selling. So I get it. Exclusives, all that kind of stuff is fine. Exclusives are fine when they're actually attainable and not just some weird bot extravaganza on someday where nobody actually buys anything. All of that's fine. The thing that bothers me, and I don't have proof that this is happening, but I'm pretty sure it's happening, is things like Hasbro Pulse, where they're artificially creating sell-through, where their product sits for a while, then all of a sudden it's out of stock, and next thing you know, a bunch of the retailers have online retailers have a whole bunch of stock. So I'm pretty sure Hasbro sells off their stuff to make it look like you better buy it faster next time. And that kind of stuff bothers me a whole lot. And I also don't like the whole Hasbro Pulse thing in general, because why does everything cost more if you buy it directly from the company? Like, not just the figure, that's the same price, but then you also have to pay for shipping and pay for memberships and stuff. I don't like any of that stuff. So artificial FOMO, don't like it, but that's what the industry is based on entirely these days. I mean, just standard FOMO.
we want real
It makes
FOMO
collecting-
only.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it sounds silly, but yes, because it's unavoidable. But I hate the way. I guess it's just the way things go. But the way consumers have kind of morphed into these, I must have it and I must get it now and pay whatever. It's like the consumer is creating the problem. They're allowing these companies to do this to us, and it's not good because you never get it back. You never get that back. As soon as you start showing the company they can bend you over a barrel, they're going to keep doing it. It's going to get worse and worse and worse.
I'm so guilty of that, man. I really am. I got to stop.
Same.
You're right.
Same.
I mean, we all are to some degree, but social media has made it worse, I think. Everybody's got, I got the figure first, or here's, I paid this much for it, or like the big argument, anytime there's a HasLab, oh, well, if you can't afford it, anytime there's any criticism, oh, you just can't afford it. Like, as soon as social media took off, all these companies just went like this, and they knew they were going to get all the money going forward, all of it. Nothing we can do about it at this point.
My guilty pleasure to that is ashamed is the engine of vengeance. I knew it was bad price. I knew it was not great. I still wanted it.
Me too. I campaigned so hard for that.
I did not.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the
Well,
thing
what's
is, I
nice-
knew
You're
that
right.
was one of those ones where they hiked the price up so damn high, so the next one didn't look so bad. Like, you know,
Yeah.
they're doing that every time. They knew that was going to fail.
I just
But
really
what's
wanted
crazy-
Mephisto, dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted Mephisto so bad, and he's on the leak list, so hopefully it's real and he's actually coming this year. But I didn't even
Like I
want
said,
the
we were talking
car.
about with Pulse. Like, I wouldn't hate Pulse if they actually used it to be like what you would think it would be for. Like, put the 18 and up figs or the 12 and up figs on there, the ones they don't think will do well in stores. I'll pay more for those ones if we get like better characters that they don't think would do well at. That's what that's
Sure.
for. It's their own store. Like,
Yeah.
they're just
Yeah.
dropping the ball so hard, and it's just a shame.
The membership
Well, we were
pisses
talking
me
ab-
off. No.
The membership
Oh,
thing is
yeah.
crazy. Why is that a
Yeah.
thing?
The thing is, though,
Upset.
like I typically will get 2 HasLabs a year, so like with the free shipping, it does pay for
Yeah.
itself. Like there is that, but I hear you. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I had internet. My internet was acting funny, so I just jumped out and reset.
I didn't even know you
Um,
were gone. It's fine.
Perfect. Blended right in then. Let's talk about QC issues. So, with the modern toys today, like they're fairly advanced, like to say, we also get a lot of QC problems with them. What are your thoughts about that, Anthony?
I think the best thing to attribute the QC problem uptick would just be that they're pumping stuff out as fast as they possibly can because people are buying them as fast as they possibly can. So the factories are just humming along and things get missed. I think that's all there is to. Well, for true QC problems, but things like poor decision making or like not caring about something that comes out like the knees or elbows on She-Hulk or something like that. That's not getting missed. That's just they don't need to care anymore because people are buying it anyway, and it saves them a penny to not worry about it. So I think it's really those two things. They're pumping this stuff out fast, and nobody cares anymore. They're just feed me the garbage, more garbage, give me the garbage, and so they're just giving it more garbage. My take.
Okay. Jersey?
I see people get them all the time. When I buy a figure, I have almost none. Like and it's not even that I'm not looking for them or I'm not noticing them, but like I don't feel as though this is a big of a problem as people make it seem because of social media. Like you see one and it's like, oh shit, they're all gonna be no. Because like he said, like, yes, they're pumping this shit out real fast. Are some of them gonna come out shitty? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm far more concerned with the fact that sometimes like Hasbro will look at a production sample of a head that is flatly terrible and say, yes, put this into production. Like that to me that's a problem. The QC, like if you get a shitty one, fucking return it and get another one. Like it's, like I don't see this is a big concern.
What's sad is somebody high-fived over some of those heads and went, "Yes, you did it, John. That's the one." Like,
right? What? Like what? Like come on.
No. What about? Go ahead, Brandon.
I was going to touch on this for. I know you probably share the same opinion because I've heard you say it, Abby. But for me, like QC it is what it is. I'm more careful as a seasoned collector, and a lot of people will just like who are getting into the high end figures compared to a Hasbro that can take a beating. They'll go bend the leg, snap, break because they don't know they have to heat it up. Are you guys cool with this whole heat it up thing and just throw some instructions in there, or do you think we need to they need to refine that so you can play with your toys? You know what I mean? Like, how do you guys feel about the heated up?
I think the primary issue is you don't know that that's going to be an issue until the production happens because of the way the plastics anneal as they're cooling, and you put the figures together, and all plastics shrink to some degree. So I think what happens is some of these smaller companies or new companies or whatever, and I'll probably have to deal with this with my line someday. You just don't know that's going to happen until it's too late, and you can't afford to say, oh, you know what, send back the whole 3,000 whatever 4,000 5,000 figures and redo everything. So like I don't know if you guys got those werewolves from Loose Collector. They had those super tight joints. I don't think they had a choice but to say, you know what, it's too tight, heat your figure up. So that sucks as a consumer for sure. I get why it happens. I don't think it's excusable on a Hasbro figure, but I don't think I've ever had to really heat up a Hasbro figure either. They're usually sloppy, if anything.
I mean, I almost feel like most modern toys you have to heat it up. Like, I literally bought my wife a new blow dryer so I could just take her old one, so I could have it for my toys.
What Hasbro figures like
Anthony?
Like knees and elbows?
I mean,
I would say
do you not buy classified?
Rockers.
Okay, yeah.
Wait,
okay,
Anthony. Do you not buy classified figures?
No, I don't. I only get Legends from Hasbro.
So with Legends, it's not really that bad. Almost every classified figure has to be heated up. Like the last wave, I got 5 because I got 2 of the Army Builder. Every one of them, even the hairdryer wasn't enough. Like this was a boiling water situation.
So
is it the insert molds, like the elbow? Like they don't do pins anymore, right? For that series either.
No,
so it's elbows and knees.
Yes, the doubles. Yes, and if you want to change a head, like if you want to change a head without breaking the peg, like boil.
Huh.
Damn right.
I don't know about the head. That's just lazy. The insert mold joints do tend to need a lot more force or not enough. Like they either get loose or they're too tight. So that makes sense. So the Hasbro figures, you guys probably, Marvel Legends, I mean, you guys probably have noticed that with the insert molds, they tend to be tight, really tight when you first get them. Have you guys experienced that? Yeah, that's because the plastic's actually being molded right around it, like the ankles. I don't know who mentioned it, but the ankles have been tight on Marvel Legends forever, sometimes anyway.
Yeah.
It's always a thing because it's insert molded. So that's one of those downsides for those pinless joints that everybody loves so much.
I don't love them. I didn't need them. I don't want them. I hate when people complain about it. I don't get it. Ass. Yeah.
I get that they look technically better, but I'm fine with pins. Action figures have had pins forever. They look like action figures either way, and you can take them apart if you want to. And the figures I'm making are going to have pins. I don't care.
So I just don't like McFarlane's pins.
Well, I mean, Brandon,
McFarlane has giant pins on his stuff.
But Brandon, you're very anti-pin though.
And
I get it too.
No. Who was? We just saw a figure that it was Sparrow's figures. They have pins, but they have nice little micro pins, and they're not noticeable in the sense where my complaint is gaudy, ugly giant pins like McFarlane's. They're huge. It's like they tried to reinvent the wheel with a lot of their stuff, like the weird way they do their hips and like the diapers. That's not new, but they're making a lot of decisions that it goes so much against the grain. You just have to question like why, like why are you choosing this? So I don't hate pins. I'm getting conditioned to pins because most things coming out are coming with pinless. And I don't know if you get.
Then don't complain. Then don't complain about heating them up ever. You can't have it both ways.
Well, like Anthony was saying, with the Legends, I don't have to heat these ones up.
You've never had to heat up a Legend ever. Like ever?
I would say not ever. Okay. I've occasionally, but like this guy, I pulled him right out, and the arm is like stiff, but you can like work it like pretty good because it's tight. But there's some where if you don't heat it up, like it's gonna snap. Like I think it's you know what it could be. Honestly, I think we're missing part of it. A lot of the high-end figures have more paint on them, and I think what's sticking too is probably the paint in there, whereas these it's all just molded plastic, so maybe there's something to do with that.
So the tightest line, in my opinion, is Valaverse, the Action Force. Like I don't think it's paint. Like he has pretty much the same amount of paint on the knees and elbows where it's going to stick, you know what I mean? So I don't think it's paint. It's just the plastic. It's just the pinless. It's just the way it's going to be.
I'm willing to bet. I don't have any Valaverse figures. I bet you he uses hard PVC. If he uses hard PVC, which he
does.
So if you're doing insert molds in hard PVC, it's going to be tight as hell. But the figure's not going to be, floppy mess.
It's not gummy like this. Where
trade-off.
you
Yeah.
can
There you go.
90
Yep.
degree flex the.
I mean, the Swarm Tracer, the glow in the dark Swarm Tracer, that was probably one of the most buttery smooth Valaverse figures I've ever messed with, and not just Valaverse compared to like a lot of different lines. Like as soon as you take it out of the packaging, it articulates so well. I was so surprised how good it was, which is not like normal, right? For a Valaverse, like you said, it's generally they're hard,
Sure.
and I give them a bath all the time. So.
But yeah, like I don't care because I want him to use this hard plastic. I want them to be stuck because there
Yeah.
are no droopy weapons in Valaverse. Not one. Those things
Exactly.
are. If you looked at my classified here, half of them are. So, yeah, keep using the hard plastic. I'll hair dry them. It is what it is. This is just totally. But yeah, this is where we're at.
So we're gonna keep this discussion going, but I want to see some more fists in the chat, guys. We're gonna do another giveaway soon, so I'd like to see the fists.
Another giveaway.
Yeah,
the chat.
why not? I
Good
mean,
Lord.
we do giveaways on this show, so it's a little bit more
So-
frequent than normal.
This comment, I think Monster Voice has smooth joints. They were smooth, but I also had to heat up at least half of them.
Yeah, some of those.
But they're nice. But they're nice figures. They're very nice, and I wish them success. They have to slow down on the reuse if they're going to keep people interested. But we'll see how it goes.
I am looking for that comment. I can't find it. So
It's now
there.
buried in fist.
It got
So
it got fisted out of existence.
it's there. I know. I believe it. No, I agree. I have a few of the Monster Force figures too, and some of them definitely need to be heated up. I messed with some. Some were fairly decent in articulation, but a lot of them actually do need that heat bath. So
yeah,
that's why they're all
werewolf.
sitting. Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, the werewolf. Yeah, snapped right out of the package. His leg snapped right. I barely even moved it too, so
Mhm.
that was rough. But they replaced it. It's fine.
That's
Yeah. We had enough fists in the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We'll do one last giveaway for today. Of course, I lost it. There it goes. Share. We're going to give away a Mythic Legions, actually.
clavicle.
Clavius. He is a what's it called? Gladiator. Let me supersize myself for a second. Sorry for all the lights. Sorry. There you go. Ingalls.
I was gonna say you're blurry.
Ingalls. But yeah, no. This is Clavius. He's one of the hard to find ones now. So
Very cool.
in the chat. Oh, there goes that storm or Sub-Zero. We'll let that.
Quick.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say because you got the mythics showing up. Quick question to Maniac. I know you've said that you like articulation, but you also love the aesthetic of what Four Horsemen's got going on with the mythics. Two-part question: if they never ever upgraded the articulation like we know they're gonna do, would you be fine with that forever going forward? And then part two is, as they inevitably do more and more figures with like the double knees and the double elbows and maybe they throw an ab, a waist. Well, they'd have that, but maybe like a upper. Just as it progresses.
Mm-hmm.
Are you good with the characters you currently have in your collection of like the named characters, or if they start upgrading those characters, would you replace them with the new ones because of the articulation?
None of them are in here listening to this, right? Like they don't follow 3POA, like they don't care, right? The four horsemen.
I can't guarantee you that, honestly speaking, but I mean we have people who are close to 3POA or to Four Horsemen who are part of that group. But
we try to keep it like respectful, but
I
We have
love
opinions.
those. I love those guys. So like I don't want to say this, but I was thinking about it today. Like just the fact that two dudes have like the shirts have like cloth over their armor.
Mhm.
When you put it next to the figure that has the plastic there, the plastic looks like shit. I would absolutely rebuy every fucking figure they made. And I don't want to admit that because I know, look at him. He's like, oh, you sucker, you suck. And yes, I know, Anthony. But I would do it because it really does look that much better. As far as the articulation, they should have never made this line with these big, giant two-handed swords with people holding them with one hand. Like, that was just a mistake on their part. And they're smart people, so they really... That's like disappointing. But again, it's just the way it was. So would I have stuck with it without the articulation? Yes. Do I prefer the better articulation? Yes. Would I rebuy a figure just for articulation? No, absolutely not. But an upgrade with soft goods and deco, yes, I would. And that goes against like everything I stand for. It's terrible. I feel dirty, but I would do it.
Well, luckily it seems like that's what they're going to do. Like if they're going to upgrade it with double joints, they're probably going to throw some soft goods on there too. So you'll get the best of both. If you have to buy a 2.0 or a 3.0 or a 4.0, yeah.
Ron Ivy, thank you very much.
I mean, 3.0 is pushing it. Let's not go to 3.0s.
Actually, I think that's what those doubles are.
Ron Ivy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Great conversation tonight. Frank, you are great, blunt, and no BS. Speak the truth, brother. And we will give you know what? We did laser pens already, so we're going to do someone else. There you go.
Hey guys, make sure to check out Figure Fight Club.
Thanks, Ron.
So was that laser pants or was that someone different in that?
You mean in the other one, the wink?
That's not the same video.
That's totally laser pens.
Okay. That was a bad joke. That was a bad joke.
He sends me dirty.
You played the same video twice. Is what he's saying. Like,
yeah.
Oh.
I know he has the same outfit as all, so it's just like I wasn't sure. That's all.
I want to touch on this question. You know, we asked, and I want to get back to it a little bit more with your figure line, Anthony. But I'm gonna ask Jersey Maniac, what was the straw that broke the camel's back, where you decided I've had enough of this? I need to get in front of the camera and let the world know what's up.
Are you asking me this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Believe it or not, I know the answer to that. It was the truly absurd amount of G.I. Joe classified movie figures sitting on the shelf at a Walmart.
Come on, dude. That Baroness was amazing from Snake Eyes.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Yeah, no. None of those were amazing. Those are going to have their own landfill. It will be like, you know, the Larry Hama fucking landfill in Oklahoma. Like, why?
It'll be next to the Funkos.
Yes, like who watched that movie and thought we need to make 1,000,000 figures of each character for this? Like, it was one of the worst decisions ever made.
And they can't blame
so
Disney on that one.
No, we can't. That was all Hasbro. So that was the straw. I think I made a video. It was even during COVID. Like I had to take my mask off in public. Oh God. But I made that video, and then I was like, well, that was fun, and I'm going to make more. So there we go.
Well, it's It is one of the highlights of the day to look forward to. Seeing that brick wall in the background, the puff of smoke, and I already know just by the look of on your face, I already know like we're in for a treat.
We're in for it today. Yep. Oh, he's good and pissed today. All right.
Now, just to kind of keep going on with some of the other questions we had, I know both of you mentioned articulation is something important to you. What about aesthetics? Do you think they go hand in hand, or is one more important than the other?
You first.
I think you just need to have the right balance. I know it's kind of a cop out, but the problem, like with Revoltech, for instance, because obviously they can pose most of the time like crazy, but I think most of the time, at least in the past, not so much now, they look like crap. They look like robots. They look like those old transforming Spider-Man figures from the 90s. They turn into a spider or something. Like, they just look crazy. So I think they went too far in one direction, but now they're reining it in. I think it really just needs to be balanced. As long as the posing suits the character good, the more the better. And I think we have enough technology these days. Like, articulation doesn't need to be complex to be functional. So I think you can usually get pretty damn good range of motion out of most figures, and they still look good. Anyway, that's a long way of saying it needs to be balanced, but without the articulation, I'm not interested. And without enough aesthetic, I'm not interested either. So it really just comes down to, are you good enough to make it work?
Now, articulation-wise, what do you want in a figure? Like butterfly joint, double jointed? Like, what do you expect, I guess? Or what are you looking for?
I don't care about butterflies as much because they break the sculpt up and almost never function well. But like a true butterfly, the way Hasbro does it, they almost never work that well, and they always almost always look bad. I'm more okay with something like I hate to say this because I don't like them as much either, but the ones that have the ball peg that you can like move the whole shoulder around and it just has like a floating cap. Like what McFarlane does, only theirs never work. Well, they don't work most of the time, so that sucks. But I'm more okay with that. I love the ability to move the shoulders around, but if it doesn't look good, then I just don't care. And like my figures, for instance, I'm toying with the idea of adding some sort of joint in there for like the butterfly. But my figures without any extra shoulder articulation, just a standard ball hinge, can two-hand a sword. So it's like, as long as you try, you can make most figures pose pretty well. And so I tend to lean, I guess, more towards the aesthetic as long as it's functional articulation.
Okay.
So,
that was such a good answer. Like, you were the perfect one to answer that question. That was a great question. Because I agree with all of that. Like, and the only thing I would say is it's definitely character dependent. You know, like what articulation does Darth Vader need? You know, like you don't need to. Does he even right? Like, does he even need double elbows? No. Like you want him to be able to hit one fucking baseball player two-handed pose like that. That's it. Bend his knees a little bit. That's it. You release a Spider-Man like that, and we have a problem. So you know, it's definitely character dependent. But yeah, no, like it's articulation's worthless if the figure doesn't look good. So.
I agree.
Let's talk about, can we real quick talk about, because everybody here is familiar with Marvel Legends. I'm imagining at least enough to know about their modern Hulk bodies. And that butterfly joint that goes straight back and zero forward. Now, I know they did that because it's hard to do a butterfly joint that looks good on the pec like that. But to me, okay, it's good for one pose. Is that worth having in there?
Nope.
I'm just not a fan of butterfly joints that don't work. Because it takes a lot more engineering and a lot more budget to make that. And if they don't work, what's the point? At least it doesn't cut up the front on that guy, but I don't see it.
It really makes you wonder what they're going to do for this Maximum Hulk, because if the leak lists are accurate, which they typically are, that's the other Maximum figure for this year, probably for at least $80. And so, like, what are you going to do? Like, and in this case, it's one of the very few figures that they've made a lot of a character. None of them are good. Like, they really aren't. Like, so this one, so the Hulk will sell as well. It's when we get past this year that the Maximum line is going to really tank. or at least has the potential to really tank. But for that one, like, what are they going to do to be like innovative? I understand that there's only so much that they can do. Lightning
They're gonna
Collection
have to
did have
step it up.
amazing articulation, but yeah, no, like
But
I can't figure out what they're gonna do, and I really don't want them. Like, what did you think of the heads from that Hulk figure with the shitty butterfly joint?
There's like one good head out of all of them, I think. Like,
Mm.
there's like 10 of them now at least, and there was one that I thought was all right. I think the 20-year one or whatever was decent.
Yeah,
I don't remember the one that came with the comic or something. I don't remember. But yeah,
Right,
mostly
that
they
one.
suck.
Right. So, and even those, like, they're questionable. I agree that one of them is not terrible, but that's as far as I'm willing to go. Like, it's not
Yeah.
terrible. I would love a great one. So, but
Yeah.
if they get Paul Harding to do it again, like they've been doing, he's going to make the same shit. So, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, Paul Harding's a good sculptor, but a lot of the things look the same. And
The exact same.
It's just what Hasbro wants from him, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to knock him. He's definitely a good sculptor for sure. The style Hasbro's going for, though, is not. The heads don't match the bodies. That's a whole separate topic.
No.
The bodies look so doughy and stupid, and then the heads are all realistic. Anyway, you were mentioning the Hulk. What are they going to do? If they don't make him able to do this, forget it.
Yeah, it's
Why-
over. It's over.
Yeah.
If you don't make a Hulk that can do the clap thing that Hulk does,
Yeah.
at this point, when you're making your maximum pile of garbage, then just quit. Like, you don't know how to
Agreed.
do toys if you can't do that.
Mhm.
There you go.
But people will eat it up
I agree
anyway.
with
They're just gonna make his
I agree
arms
with-
longer, like monkey arms, so you can touch the
And
fingers
right.
together.
See, and that's going to go over like a turd in a punch bowl. Like, that'll be the thing that makes sure he never sells. So yes, they have to do it right.
My Hulks on the shelf right now that are the stand-ins are the select Hulks, because I mean, yeah, they can't clap, but they're just chunky.
Oh,
They
that
look
red
nice.
Hulk looks so good. I love
Yeah,
that. It
he's-
looks.
Yeah.
It doesn't pose for shit, but it looks so good.
Yeah.
I love the way that figure looks.
Usually,
You know,
I
people
it's
tell
only
me when I
30
reviewed
bucks.
that and said how good it looked, they're like, it looks the same as the Hasbro one.
No.
I give up.
Nah,
I give
bro.
up. They don't look the same. The sculpts aren't the same. It's not even close.
No, I had those.
I
up
like
for a
the
while. I
SHF.
usually keep the but I had those on the shelf for a while. I did.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, saying I like the SHF Hulk. That's the one I like a lot. I don't know which
I don't know
version
that
I
one.
have, but
Probably the a movie Hulk.
it probably is a movie one because I collect movie figures. Screw you guys.
I
Well,
collected
I
them
mean-
when the first Avengers came out, and they made that Hulk that didn't look anything like the movie. I had that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one was terrible with like the bow
It was
legs.
so bad. Yeah.
Let's
Savage
see.
Crucible style.
I don't have any of those
It's like-
except for the real skinny lizards. I don't know about that joint.
What's the one that they did that with? Was it the
The new one probably
was it
has
the
it.
no? Was it the was it the Mafex Iron Man that has the crazy protruding butterflies to get him to go forward because he has all that armor? Like, they literally are on like a rail system that come out of his.
I don't
back
have that.
to swing him around. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
it's
I
the
don't know.
Mafex that does that.
I think my SHF
Laser
Iron Man does that too.
Look at Laser
Yeah.
Pants knowing his shit there too. Yeah, that would work. And what is it? It's just like an extra. It's like an extra snap forward that like because wow, I didn't even know
Yeah.
that. Look how far that fucker's arm can go forward.
Well, I'm gonna supersize you
That's
one
at
second.
the shoulder. So yeah, he's right. Like, look at how far it goes.
But that guy's
And
got a
there's the-
narrow chest compared to Hulk. Is it going to work for a
He
big
does.
fat chest?
He does, and he has a big ass butterfly joint back there that actually works, just like you
Oh, so
want.
it swings
So
out. Okay. Cool.
yeah,
It's
so it
kinda
swings
like
out and
what,
then go. Oh my goodness!
It's kind of like how the Brutal Realm joint is set up. It's almost
Yeah.
like it has a fourth shoulder, like
Yeah.
shoved up in there, and it's very interesting how it works. But it gets the job done. And
Yeah,
those are beefy boys.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Like,
Brutal Realm. They're beefy, muscular bodies, and they go like this
Yeah,
at this point. So, from at least what we've seen,
yeah.
The hinge is behind the pec. Yeah. Take notes, Dwight.
Um, let's see. Did we talk about remolds and repaints
No.
A little bit. I
a little
mentioned
bit?
it. Mentioned it
Remolds and
once, Jersey.
repaints.
Well, I guess is there frustration behind or reusing molds and essentially just repainting the same figure over and over again? Like I remember you did mention it with some
You
of
did mention
the
it, yeah.
McFarlane and then some of the Hasbro figures coming out.
So
But that's
yes, and
I don't think that's ever going to go away though.
No.
'Cause you got to
Here's
use the
the thing.
part. I mean, you got to use it.
here's the thing: there's a right way and a wrong way.
Mhm.
Classified is riddled with reuse now, and it doesn't matter at all. Like, does it matter at all that Ripper has the same legs as the Iron Grenadier? No, like not even a little bit. That's so much different than Jesus H. Christ, this is on the fucking pizza spider body again. You know, like it's night and day. So there's a right way and a wrong way. It has to be very seamless. Like I don't even know if Vala does it, but I'm sure he does. Like, there's no reason to make legs for every figure. We won't even know, you know, like, and if you, even if you do know, it doesn't matter because it just looks perfect. It looks the way it's supposed to look. If Mythic Legions is making another knight, why would they make new legs? Like, you don't have to. It's fine. We don't care. But when your entire line is dictated off what you can reuse, like Legends is, then we have a problem. And the repainting, like Star Wars Black, forget it. Like, it's a miracle that line is still going. Like, just the mindless bullshit repaints are so bad. They never sell. They know it, and they keep making them.
Just to touch on the Mythics real quick. That was my earlier complaint. It's they have a lot more in the parts catalog now, but I had this weird scenario in my head that bothered me, that all the good guys had the same parts as the bad guys, because in my make-believe mind, they can't shop at the same blacksmith. They would get hung for that. Like the blacksmith would be like, you're a traitor to the cause. What are you doing? So just mythos wise, I wasn't feeling
So he created a whole backstory for the reason.
for that to justify my reasoning.
And that's perfectly fair. Perfectly fair. What bothered me about it for a while was the weapon reuse. Like, you're giving the same weapon to a guy in this faction that's in this faction. Yeah. Like, that's stupid. So
similar thing. Yeah.
Similar things. But you're absolutely right. There is no arguing with that one. Yep.
But again, now they have quite a array of parts.
They
to
do
help with that. Yeah.
They do indeed.
Well, like reuse on
what else
we're good. We're good on reuse. Do it when it's appropriate, but don't make it a crutch.
So a lot of people are using the word golden age of collecting currently. That's where we are in. Now, do you guys actually believe we're in the golden age of collecting?
You first.
Yes and no. Yes, because options are always great. Competition's always good for the consumer. We have more options than ever before. How many companies make 1/12 scale figures right now? Like, I can't even name them all off the top of my head.
Too
Whether
many.
they're imports or domestics. I mean, obviously we don't have that many domestics. They're not just popping up, but there's like 30 import companies now, and not even counting third-party stuff, which is a whole separate thing. It's easy now, I mean, relatively speaking, to make action figures compared to what it used to be. And there's so much more demand. It's so much more popular than it used to be. It's great. Competition, variety, options, choices, it's all wonderful. So in that sense, yes. But on the flip side of that, everybody is buying everything, and so many companies are not putting a good effort, putting out good figures. And they're still buying them up. The people are still buying them up. It's like I said earlier, we're creating our own problem. We're getting more and more figures, but a lot of them are garbage. I mean, you guys, I'm sure, have talked about or heard about the whole Jada Street Fighter line making everybody else shaking their boots. Hasbro can't put out a good figure for $27, and Jada's putting out brand new molds most of the time for $25 with accessories and everything else. So you have some of these really, really bright spots where things are just awesome. People are getting great stuff, but then you have a whole slew of just really repetitive, iterative garbage that people are still buying. And I think we're going to see, well, I don't think it's going to change, actually. I was going to say, I think it's going to go downhill quick, but I don't think so. I think we're going to keep getting garbage from the companies that make stuff that they don't care about. And then the companies that do care are going to make the good stuff. So we're still going to have options. I guess this is an optimistic comment. We're going to have options. It's going to be good for us in the long run. But don't expect the crappy companies to get better. They're going to get worse. The good companies are going to stand out more.
But you kind of touched on the collector being overwhelmed. You know,
I don't think that's a thing, though. I mean, options are good. No, I mean, options are good. You pick what you like. If you like more than one, buy more than one. If you don't. People, if you don't worry about I need to have it, you can't have that mindset and enjoy collecting. It will not work. You can't need to have everything.
We as collectors are kind of like ridiculous that way, where we're like, oh,
I have a
want to be
sickness.
Yeah, that's what creates the problem.
Well, it's that FOMO, right? You want to be
but I don't buy bad figures. Like, I don't want to buy bad figures.
Except
But what if they were all good? What if they were all good and you did want them all?
Well, you can want, but you don't have to have it. If they're all good, then you get one if you can afford it, or you get 10 if you want to, or whatever, and then you'll at least enjoy it. But the whole mindset of I need to have it, where at least half the companies are putting out subpar stuff, that's where people are. It's not good. They're gonna not enjoy collecting as much. I mean, I get comments all the time saying, "Oh man, I used to hate your videos because you were so negative, but then I started thinking about what I bought and I enjoy my stuff way more." It's like, yeah. Be more selective in what you're buying. You're going to have way more fun doing it. It's not like, okay, it's a little bit fun to spend money, but it's a lot more fun to have a good product on your shelf. You know, you're going to enjoy it more. So I don't care. I would rather there be more options, more competition, more variety. I don't feel overwhelmed because I don't feel like I need to have stuff. But I guess that's different for everybody.
I changed my opinion of him. He's toxic. Toxic, Anthony.
Uh-oh, what'd I say? That was toxic.
So like, to me, the don't like it, don't buy it is actually counterproductive for the things that you believe in, because it does not inspire them to get better. Now, granted, I understand they're not going to get better. You are right there. But the whole thing of like, don't like it, don't buy it. Like, no. I'm going to fucking rant and rave my ass off when they make garbage.
No, I agree with that. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying you don't have to feel like you need to buy it. Like, you don't have to buy something you don't like. No, I agree with you completely. Tell them, no, they shouldn't be making bad stuff. No.
I think the middle where you guys would agree, because you've said you've had this opinion on your videos, Jersey, is you want to buy everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Because it's a good figure. Yes.
Yeah.
And I can't. Yes. And I can't. Like okay, good. I take it back. You're not toxic anymore. You're a wonderful
it was
person.
the other day. This is why I got this stupid figure, because I had money to burn. I was feeling a little, wanted a fig. There's nothing that I either have it or it's garbage. And I see this, and this is the new shiny thing. And I was like, son of a bitch. I guess I'll get this. And I mean, it's going to go on the Spidey shelf. It's another character. Sure. Would I rather pay $10 for it? Yes. But
I'm going to pay. Yeah. I'm either skipping it or paying 10. So to answer the original question though, I don't like, I understand everything that you're saying, and it's all true, like with the options and everything else. But the way a friend of mine said this to me not that long ago, that we're not really in the golden age of action figures. We're in the golden age of action figure design. That like everything that they try to make look good is really good. Like we have some fucking amazing shit. However, the days are long gone when Efont Man, which, was a 3 3/4 Star Wars figure that weighed 23 pounds. Like you could kill a man with it. That was normal price. Now, if they make that, it's $50, it's $35, it's something outrageous. So I personally preferred. I would call that the golden age, the time of like Saga and the 75th anniversary line, whatever anniversary line, like those Star Wars figures when we were getting characters constantly that we never got before. Now it's, you know, the same shit over and over again. There's like 40 Luke Skywalkers in Black Series in 12 years. Like, that's outrageous. You know, and back then they're like, oh, you want all the Cantina aliens? Okay, here they are. There's 4 in this wave. There's 5 in this wave. Now they're like, we can't make those. That's too much tooling. We can't possibly make those. So that's what I would call the best time. But the figures obviously look better now. And hopefully we get more people like Jada coming in and making great stuff. So there's more competition, like, because that's obviously what we need. We need more domestic competition. I wish Mattel would fucking do something. Like, they're just farting around with wrestling. I don't even think Jurassic Park is aimed towards us. Like, is it? Like, I really can't tell. I don't think it is.
I mean, they had that one
They have
moment where they did those 6-inch figures, but then it just kind of just went away.
Yeah, it's gone. Right. They didn't sell and they didn't sell and it's gone. So get another license.
I can tell you my 8-year-old loves the dinosaurs. He's got like probably one of the biggest Mattel, like, Jurassic World Park, whatever you want to call the collection out there.
And I don't blame him. I would have given my balls to have that stuff when I was a kid. Like, they're absolutely amazing. So I literally don't blame him at all. But like, they're just like, they have no real presence. Like, the He-Man figures that they're putting out are garbage. They're not even trying. Like, it's barely a collector level product. And I'm talking about the Masterverse. Never mind the Origins figures, which really aren't trying. Yeah. Like, so I really wish, I mean, they at least have the capability to do something nice, because even Monster High is far better than anything they're offering us collectors. Like, so they could do it and they just choose not to. Like, are they still that upset over the DC Classics line? Like, what? Like, I don't understand why they don't get back into collecting and compete with Hasbro. Like, why? What are they doing?
I don't know. Their last DC stuff they did, though, was terrible. I remember the Dick Grayson Batman they released is one of the worst things I've ever reviewed. And they went out with a whimper with that line. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're doing.
Right before they lost the DC line, like, their stuff got, like, that Penguin was phenomenal that Mattel made.
I love the Killer Croc. The last wave.
The last wave was awesome. Yeah,
fantastic. I still have it right up there. And like, again, it's like they can do it and they just choose not to. Like, they want nothing to do with men in their 40s. They just don't.
Impossible Pie.
What about we're the ones with all the money? That's the thing. Is like,
I know.
Kids don't buy toys. Kids buy some toys, and that's why there's toy aisles in stores. But we're the ones with all the money. We're the ones that care about any of the stuff you're making. Hasbro's even aiming it at us. Like, they're releasing characters nobody's heard of, let alone kids. So they're definitely aimed at adults, but they're not made for adults. They're still made like little kid toys. It's the craziest thing. None of it makes sense anymore.
No. They're working off an old system. So how old are you, Anthony?
I am 37.
It took a bit
enough. So you
old enough to not remember.
No, perfect. So you watched cartoons as a kid and saw all the commercials and all of the brainwashing from back then, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, that is like, the psychology of collecting is fucking fascinating. Like, that is why we are the way we are. Collect them all. Now here, return to this show where it's Jesus Christ, I want that guy, commercial. Yeah. Collect them all. Oh, yeah. That's why we're sitting here like, God, I want all of these. And that's, I mean, and so, like, you should make a video, since you have such a large following, on just what you were saying of, you really don't need to buy everything. We understand that you were programmed in 1985 to feel this way, but try to resist it. You know, like, you're in your 40s now, like, do your best to try to resist it. That really might gain some traction. So you should think about doing that. People will listen to you.
Do you think it's programming, or is it just the fact that us as collectors had influences from other people before us. Like I had a great conversation with Robo don't know, and we were talking about my collecting habits and why I started collecting, and we kind of realized during that chat that it was kind of influenced from my father, who was not a toy collector, but he collected, like, he was like a nerd with technology. So he would
Okay.
buy the latest laptop, the latest iPad and then tablets and all that stuff, and we would have that stuff at home, right? Like that was our thing. Um, so he was a collector in that way. He would go out and buy the latest things, and we had it at home to play with. So that
Sure.
kind of influenced us as a, like, growing up, because me as a collector today in action figures, I mean, I've been collecting since 2000, since I was like 17, 18 years old. I collected movies, DVDs, went to Blu-rays, went to watches, then eventually switched over to action figures as an adult. Or like,
We all, every one of us shares the same inner wiring, whether you want to, like, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, because, like, yeah, dude, like, I had DVD collections, like, I have all that. I have, fuck, I don't know exactly how many books I have, but it's thousands. Like, it's a lot. They are in places where, like, I'll open a drawer and be like, Jesus, there's more in here. Like, so we all have this wiring about us. So all it takes is a little nudge. Like for us, for the old, how old are you?
Me, I'm 40.
You're 40. So again, you watched, I'm 45. You watched the shows. You saw the commercials. Like, they're in there, man. Like, so.
No, I agree.
Yeah. So it's, again, it's the perfect combo. And fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to think about it, there's a lot of us. There really is.
Yeah. Yep.
That's why when I hear shit like Hasbro's going to stop making toys, like, no, they're not. There are so many of us.
Well, I think the line was they're cutting down, not stopping, but creating. I called it creating FOMO. This is essentially what a lot of toy companies do. Oh, we're low on stock.
Okay.
So,
No. That's fine. That's fine. Because yes, like the market for us, brainwashed individuals, again from 1985, watching Transformers on TV, waking up before school. God, how uncharacteristic is that? Like, now I want to sleep until 5 p.m. Back then I would wake up before school just to watch G.I. Joe. Like I couldn't miss it.
I watched Saved by the Bell, so
there you go. So yes, it is the psychology of collecting is really fascinating. So there is always a reason for why we are the way we are.
No, that's very true. Are you guys good on time, by the way?
Yeah.
I just wanted to, because I know we are over our mark. We generally go over. I did warn you guys about that. I just wanted to go ahead and pull Clavius. That way we're done with that, and we could go. I think we have one or two more questions left, and then we should be good.
There was no way we were going to get done at 11. Nobody can talk like nerds. So,
last chance for Clavius. Sorry for the trying. He's a gladiator. He's a hard to find Mythic Legions. Last chance.
Can't tell how many's in there. It's too tiny.
This 39 and 76 watching, but I'm going to go ahead and just pull it because it's been up 40. Duarte, good luck, man. All right, 3,
Rowdy,
2.
I bought that Monster High for my daughter, and it's beautiful. The Jenna Ortega, it's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful.
Blake, congratulations.
Blake. Awesome.
He's one of the good ones. Congrats, Blake. You reach out to me on Instagram. We'll make sure to get that figured out to you. It'll be Monday or Tuesday.
The DMs.
Slide into the DMs. And again, in the future, let's put some fists in the chat. We'll do some giveaways when we see those fists.
The George Carlin of action figure collecting. Wow, thank you. That is a high compliment. Whoever said that. Thank you. My goodness.
Oh, sorry, Laser Pants. You got to tune in, man.
Reroll.
And you're a mod too. Come on. We started talking about price increases and inflation and things like that. Now we are getting towards that time where there's restrictions happening from overseas and tariffs, whatever. Do you think that's going to affect the pricing on action figures that are coming in?
Yes. I could go on about this for the next 4 hours, but it'll be very political, so I just won't. So I'll just leave it at that. Yes.
We don't like to bring in politics, but you're saying yes, but do you think it's because of politics, or is it just because these companies are gonna try to shell out or try to get more, right, for the bang for the buck?
How can I don't make it political, but keep talking about it. Like, I can't do that. I can't do that. Like, the tariffs will accomplish nothing. I will say this: do you know where tariffs go?
To us,
you know where they go?
We're the ones who pay for it.
No. Where the money collected for a tariff goes? Where do they go? To the general fund of the United States of America.
Okay.
So the deficit is whatever trillion, and this is the plan to take 10% every time I want an action figure from China. No, come on. Everything we owe, everything like what we're all wearing right now, chances are it's made in China. The computers we're looking at are made in China. We're not set up to make this shit here because it would then cost 9 times what it costs now. So it's a terrible plan. It's not going to work. And yes, it will affect our action figures. That's as far as I can go. I mean, I could go way farther, but I just won't.
So the odds of Hasbro showing good faith and eating the cost are literally 0.
Showing good faith.
Well, because they're like before the tariffs, the prices are already going up. They're already in that
inflation is a real thing, right? So that it does happen every year. You're going to see some price hikes, but do you think it's going to get worse in the next like 3 to 6 months?
Yes. I would guess that it would. Or I'll put it this way. I would be in no way surprised if it did. Because again, like the idea of buy American, like we can't.
We're too expensive. We're way too expensive. Yeah.
No, right. The idea of they could make these in America, no, they can't. So they're paying the tariffs no matter what, and they ain't gonna pay them. Let's face it. Like they're just not.
How high does a Marvel Legend have to get before they consider a good faith type of loss to keep the collector from abandoning them?
I don't know. I don't know where that line is. $10 price hike on all, like they can't do that. Like they can't, Rowdy. Like if they do that, then they're fucked.
We're the consumer, right? So we're the ones at the end of the day who's going to pay for all these price hikes, these tariffs, and everything in general, right? That's how it works. But the question though is like the prices will increase eventually. Is that going to change your toy buying habits? Is the sickness too much, or is it not enough?
Cured?
Yeah, essentially, are you going to get cured?
No, because especially since our friend down there has pointed out that most action figures are shitty. Like again, like can you pay $30 for a figure that's not worth $20? Like no, you can't do that.
But people do it all the time, though. Like, I mean, look at the Maximum Spider-Man as a good example, right? It's going to sell, even at $50, it's going to sell out.
That's a terrible example.
It's the first one, and it's different. It's new. You got to feel it out and figure it out, and
it's a red and blue spider. Yeah. Imagine if this spider. Like, imagine if this Spider Boy that should have never been made. I've been waiting for an Atumba. Right. I've been waiting for an Atumba that came out in a comic in like 1964. That little fucker came out like 9 minutes ago, and he already has a figure. So, shit like that. Like, am I even going to consider paying $30 for it? No. I didn't pay $25, so I'm sure as hell not paying $30.
Mm-hmm.
But like even the figures that I did buy from that wave, like the Electro, like the female Electro, did I need that? Nope. I'll wait for clearance if it's 30. I'll literally wait for it to be 15. Kane, would I buy it? Maybe, but again, probably not, because it's not sustainable at a price that's high. Like again, Hasbro is $1 billion company. True, they're running it into the ground, but it's still $1 billion company. So eat the costs, you know? Like, again, the CEO doesn't need a bonus of fucking 9 million this year. He doesn't earn it. He doesn't deserve it. Pay the tariffs instead. So we'll see what they do. We'll see.
Interesting. Anthony, what about you? Do you agree with Jersey?
That was a whole long thing to say yes or no to that. So I'll just say I can't just say yes or no to that. I don't
give us your
Gross.
opinion.
Hasbro's going to eat whatever costs they have to keep functioning, but that's it. And they will raise prices whenever given the opportunity. Just like a couple years ago, or I mean, still now, I guess, but like a couple years ago when it really started, everybody was saying, oh, prices are going up due to inflation. Like, yeah, maybe some, but not every company is raising their prices. Hasbro was like, prices up. As soon as they had a chance to raise their prices, they did. Other companies weren't doing it. So maybe they were just eating the cost, or maybe they didn't really have to raise their prices, or at least not as much. There's no telling. But the one thing we're sure about is Hasbro will not lose any more money than they have to, and they will make as much money as they can, and they will use any excuse they need to. Remember the green initiative to have the windowless packaging that amazingly went away. They solved the world's problems within 1 year when people stopped buying their toys. So it's amazing how that works. They will do whatever they can to make money. They don't care about anything other than that. So
it's
companies
a business,
like that,
right?
well, yeah, I mean, every company is a business, and it's all you need to make money. But for them, it's only about the money. They don't care about the product. Maybe the guy working on it somewhere down the line does, but in terms of the people making the decisions, they don't care. It's only the money. So the prices will go up, whether, like, even if the tariffs disappeared tomorrow, or somehow they didn't raise the prices or anything, those prices are going to go up. As soon as people get it in their heads that prices are going up, they will, whether they need to or not.
So just kind of giving you an argument, like I'm in finance, right? My day job, or just my normal work in general. But I'm always pushing pricing. Like I'm a chief financial officer for a tech company. I'm always telling my CEOs, like, you got to raise the rates. And he's like, why? And I was like, because we can't afford these freaking salary increases you do to everyone. Like, you want to keep people happy, you give them higher raises, but I need to make money off of these people who are making the money. So I can't increase them the way you're increasing their salaries, their bill rates. I can't increase that. So you need to either lower it, or we need to push a different billing system. So it's all about making a profit, right? Like, I need to make profit in order to stay in business, to also cover all the overhead costs that, for people, things, and, the business development ideas that, don't generate any revenue. So all that go ahead.
You can run it right, or you can run it greedy, though. You know what I mean? Like, where's the line?
Yeah.
Like,
It's basically, are you trying to make as much money as possible, or are you trying to sell
that's
as
it.
good
That's
a
all. I
product
got
as
nothing else.
possible? That's like for me, when I have a company, assuming I ever get off the ground and sell my stuff, I'm going to sell it for as little as I can to be profitable in a reasonable way and put as good a product out as possible. None of that is what Hasbro's doing. That's just not the way that kind of company works. So no matter what happens with these tariffs, their prices are going to go up. Obviously, the longer the tariff thing goes, or the worse it gets, or however you want to look at it, prices are going up for a company like that. Now, a company like Jada, maybe they don't think they can do it. Maybe they're going to be willing to eat more of that cost, and their prices won't go up as much, or they won't go up at all, or who knows. Every company's going to handle it differently, and that's how they're going to keep or lose customers. I personally think the way Hasbro runs it, they should be losing customers all the time. But they're big enough, and they have Marvel, which is a big enough thing that it doesn't matter. I mean, their half their stuff is always exclusive at this point, and it's still fine because Hasbro doesn't care. It doesn't matter. So it's not going to look good either way for companies like Hasbro. I think it's going to be bad for the consumer regardless. What company do you work for, by the way, Abby? If you
I
say?
work for.
I just
No, I mean I
thought
work
that
for a
I
tech
could ask
company.
you when.
Go ahead, Jersey.
Oh no, you answer his question. I wait.
No, I work for a IT company, like a software developer. So
Okay, cool.
very very different.
I'm
I
kind of
don't-
techie. That's all. I just asked because
Oh.
I'm curious because I'm a tech kind of guy. That's all.
I work for a bunch of nerds who code, and I'm behind the making. Like I've changed like the whole infrastructure on them on billing and all this other stuff when I got hired. So I'm just like I think about
Look-
money, right? That's why I got hired, right? Like I think about maximum profits. How can we make money
Yeah.
off these guys? And what's the biggest contracts I could get out there? And that's what I'm thinking about. So but it from a tech firm, but it doesn't matter. Any company is going to be the same way. You want to maximize your profits, so you could take those profits and either put it in new development, which is like new projects and new things like that, or you want to put it into the greedy pockets of
Your new yacht.
or the yachts. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a yacht,
Hasbro chose the yachts.
but we don't know that, right? I mean, do you know the CEO of the? I mean, I don't know who the hell the CEO is. But
I just know their products are really crappy. That's
Yeah.
like they're not keeping up. So the money's going somewhere. That's the only thing I'm basing.
Well,
it on.
I
I don't
look-
care if
I
the
agree
CEO
with
makes a
you.
$1
I
billion
look at all their
bonus
salaries.
as
I
long
know.
as his products are
Oh,
good. that's
you
fine
look
with
at all
me.
the salaries. Yeah.
All of them, all of
before-
them that are public. So yes, absolutely.
The public ones. Yeah.
So before we jump into the salary discussion, I want to bring up Blake Tarpley with a $20 super chat. He said, "Abby, thanks again. My first Mythic Legion. No other channel rivals your giveaways. Here's for the shipping. You didn't have to do that, Blake. I appreciate it. And I guess we'll give you."
Hey guys, don't forget to check out Figure Fight Club.
Actually, no, since you like laser fans so much, too, we're gonna go ahead and.
Oh, you got the double. Nice.
The double.
Like,
Quick question for Anthony. Hold on.
Yes,
So-
sir.
Will you please, like I am begging, please tell me how much it costs to make a newly tooled action figure? When you know that number, I will never share it. I don't care what your profit is. I'm going to buy it anyway. Just please tell me.
Sure. I mean, it's going to be different for everybody, though. But yes,
Just-
sure, it's not.
Just tell me, because again, this is something I have been dying to know. I can use.
I can
that
tell you a
as
little bit
fuck-
about it now, because I mean, I've dealt with these companies before, not like Hasbro, like
Oh.
the factories, some, and it's like you can spend tens of thousands of dollars for one small mold, or like it can cost a lot. But to a company like Hasbro, let's say it costs $100,000 for a fully tooled, brand new Marvel Legends figure.
Yeah,
That's still nothing for them. I mean, they're selling 20,000 units on the first run, and then they're
Yeah.
selling 20,000 when they repaint it, and 20,000 when they repaint it. So that's like for Hasbro, it's chump change. For somebody like me making a new line of figures out of my basement, I could spend
Right.
all of my money on one mold, on one figure. And so
Mhm.
it's like, I mean, I can give you the details someday whenever I get to that point, but it's hugely expensive for a small company, but for Hasbro, it's expensive.
please.
but-
just please, yes, please tell me, because even for Hasbro, man, like 100,000 for a mold. Like, you think that's
I
actually
mean, for
accurate?
like all new part, it could be depending
Yeah.
on the figure, how many different pieces
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, for steel molds, you can spend a lot. Yeah,
Wow.
It can
Well,
cost
the
a lot.
fact that a mold can be that expensive, and that they have so much money that they can just bat their eyelashes at a terrible sculpt and like put it into production with that kind of cost is just a level of comprehension I just am not understanding, as far as how much money they blow like that, and like just It's crazy. Like,
But they're
No,
also
like
not
these- like
looking at
these-
it the way you are.
No.
You know that
These
they're
numbers
not
are like
looking at-
hollow point ammo for me, though. Like
that's
literally
what I'm
hollow
saying.
point ammo.
Yeah,
Like, I could
that's what I'm
use
saying,
them
yeah.
so much
Like,
against.
yeah.
Carry on. I'm
That's
sorry.
I'm not
I'm
saying,
all
by the way, I'm not
excited
saying it's $100,000 for like one piece. It's like
No,
100
right.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be
Yeah.
for like a whole figure
I
with all
understand.
new molds, which could be like 20, 30 pieces of, that kind of thing. So it could cost a lot, but it's going to vary wildly depending on how many different figures are getting used on that same mold. Like you could shoot the thighs for like 4 different figures if you're using the same color plastic on one mold. So they're going to save costs that
Oh.
way too. But so that's why a big company like Hasbro, they have a whole lot more, let's say, efficiency, for lack of a better term, at their disposal, because they're making 15 different figures at a time, and they're, quantity. It's all about quantity for anything. So a
Of
big
course.
company like that, they should be able to get away with a whole lot more than they do. And I mean, they're not willing to because of the money. That's what it is.
crazy.
Okay.
It
But
really
talk to
makes
Bobby
me
Bell. Like,
respect-
he knows more about that than I do, probably. I mean, I'm sure he does.
I'm going to interview him one day, and I was just gonna say, like, it really makes what he does even like more impressive. Like the fact that he cannot possibly be making as many as Hasbro is making, and only charging $5 more. Like that is very impressive, because he has to be
Remember,
profitable,
too-
right? Like he's got employees and.
Well, that's why I'm saying Hasbro's profit margins have to be absolutely through the roof, especially with the amount of retooling. And they say things like, "Oh, well, we can't put paint on it." Like, you freaking can. You don't want to spend the
Of
extra
course.
20 cents, which, okay, fine, but
Yeah.
just say that. Just say we're maximizing our profits, so you get a blank body with new paint, barely. That's it. No web lines, nothing sculpted. We are reusing everything. That's what it is. I mean, Jada showed it. Bobby shows it. Bobby's tiny compared to Hasbro. Obviously, that's not a slight on him.
Mhm.
If he's able to do that, how much money is Hasbro actually making in the profits, in the profit margins? And you know what? Fine. Make all the profit you want, but make a good figure. I don't mind being ripped off if the thing on my shelf looks cool and is good.
Yeah.
But don't rip me off and make garbage. That's what bothers me the most, I think.
But then treat you like you're an idiot and give some crap ass explanation that we all know is bullshit
Yeah.
or why they had to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like so much transparency would go such a long way with them to raise the level of
a long
respect that I've always said that, where it's like, look, you can tell me you had to do it because of this and XYZ, and I can have all the information go, you know what? I understand. You know what? Appreciate it. I'll get that figure, like,
Yep.
or I won't.
Assignment for the top of the screen here. So please find me somebody that knows how much licensing costs, because that's the other factor that we don't know, that they won't tell us. So
Well,
somebody
that's
out
different
there
every
knows.
time, too, though.
Yeah, that's going to be very different.
That's
to
negotiated every single time.
Even a general idea would be helpful. You know what I mean? Just
It could be
any sort of- 'cause
5%, it
everyone
could be
always-
10%. It could be anything. It could be based on sales. It could be upfront. There's usually both. Some companies are known for really heavy licensing. Marvel, I don't know about them, but like Street Fighter, Capcom, for instance, they're known for charging a lot. And Jada's making good products for $25. The whole licensing argument, it clearly doesn't hold water, because you have Marvel Select, same price point roughly, way bigger, same licensing, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, they have different negotiations for every company. Hasbro has a way different deal than Marvel Select. Obviously, it's not even close. But you would think with Hasbro's size, they're getting a better deal with Marvel or Disney than the smaller guys. So it just doesn't line up, and you're never going to get a direct answer, because, like I said, it could be anything. The licensing could be any kind of arrangement they want. It's not as cut and dried like people like, oh, they got this license or that license. Well, there's different licenses too. Like Hasbro's making their 6-inch Marvel figures, and so is every import company, in doing different kinds of licenses. And you can license to all these different companies if it's not an exclusive license, and all that stuff. But none of it checks out to the common sense test, if you ask me, for Hasbro. Like licensing, everybody pays licensing, and you get to sell stuff because of that license. You want that license for a reason. So is it a bad thing for you? Are you trying to tell us it's just a detriment to you to have to pay licensing? No, it's not, or you wouldn't do it. So it's all a crock. It's all a bunch of BS from Hasbro.
Because that's what people say, like, and that's what they fooled people into thinking, like the Star Wars, especially in Star Wars, like the license is so expensive, so therefore the lines suck. Like, yeah, no, I don't buy it. Then tell me what your deal is. Tell me every number involved. So that's the one I really want to know. And you just broke my dreams and ruined my life because you said I'd never get it. That's terrible.
Man. Well, then with the G.I. Joe stuff, it's their own license. But is there really that much more packed in there compared to like a decently accessorized Marvel Legend with like a Build-A-Figure and hands and a head?
No.
I think they're probably making more profit off of their own brands, their own licenses, which is probably
they just
helping
can't make
fund
Star Wars.
the other stuff that's taking a loss.
Yeah.
They can't make Star Wars and Marvel figures look bad by making classified figures too good. That's sort of common sense, I guess,
Well,
but that's
plus Marvel's
why they're not
way
better.
more popular.
Because you're right, it's
Marvel's
all
way more
profit today.
popular than Joe.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
So I have one last question, and then it's a free
What
for
else you
all.
got?
Fandom toxicity, collectors culture, the entitlement, the obsession, social media attacks, bullying, negative responses, review bombing. Anthony.
Okay, that's a broad one. So here we go. Okay, so I think the first thing we have to remember, and I say this with the most love in my heart for everybody that collects things, we're dealing with a bunch of grown men who collect toys a lot. Like, we play with toys, and so it stands to reason that a majority of them, or even some of them, let's say some, maybe don't have the best social skills, let's say. Not everybody, but some. And I'm sure you guys have heard the term man-child. And there are a lot of those out there. And unfortunately, the louder voices are the ones that get heard. And the people that are perpetually online complaining about everyone else and doing that, like, those are the ones you're going to hear. I think every fandom has that group of people. Toy collecting mixes two fandoms. You have toys, like I said, already a certain demographic of people. Not everybody can be awesome like the four of us and everybody watching right now. And then so you get that, but then you also get the fandoms of the different properties. And it's like, you're gonna end up with a bunch of weirdos on the internet causing problems. There's no way around that. There's no way. I don't think it's the majority of people. It's just like when you look up review, like not video reviews, like reviews on anything, you're gonna see more people are gonna leave a negative review than people who had a good experience. There's always a bias towards that. So you're going to hear the loud people, the weirdos, the annoying fandoms. They're the most annoying thing. They make up a tiny, tiny portion. Like, for instance, the Xbox versus PlayStation thing. Like, nobody actually gives a shit except for the weird people online who made it their identity to have a problem with it. So I don't think it's a real thing for real people in any real way. It's just a handful of weirdos that are really loud and annoying. That's all. That's all it is.
Jersey?
Good answer. To me, the most toxic people are they're the shills. Like, they're the Dan Who's of the world, where just no matter what it is, it's great and wonderful, and like they're really ruining it for the rest of us. They are doing the entire hobby a disservice by doing these sorts of just bullshit things. Like how, like, do you really need interviews? Like, because that's obviously the goal of shilling, is to get these half-ass interviews where they don't answer any real questions anyway. So what's the point? That is where, like, that to me is the most toxic. Going off of what Anthony said, we'll roll with that social skills thing. So how often online these days do you hear someone admit that they're wrong? Literally.
There's that one time. No, it wasn't.
Right, that one time.
Actually,
like
no.
never.
Bobby
It's-
Vela came out with some issues with QC and stuff, and he was upfront about it.
This
Savage
is
did
true.
the same thing. Savage did the same thing. They were like, "Hey, we have a problem. We know.
But it's
We're
rare.
gonna rectify
Very
it."
rare.
But that's even different. Like that's Bobby like doing the best for his line. That's fine. But like we're talking like it can even be something so stupid. Like, hey, do you remember that Walmart exclusive from 2014? You'll get someone on there be like, no, sir, that was actually a Target exclusive and it came out in 2015. The response won't be, oh, thank you for clearing that up. It'll be like, ask your sister how my dick tastes. Like, it's always something ridiculous instead.
It's true.
Like, it's never like, yeah, no, I'm wrong. That's fine. So
That's funny.
it's like, I don't know. I'm one of the toxic people. Let's face it. Like, when I hate something, I fucking let it lie. I don't even feel bad about it. Like, when they make a movie figure I know that's not going to sell, like, I wanted to make a video every day about that Cyborg Spider-Woman figure from Marvel Legends. You know the one I'm talking about? From the stupid animated movie?
Yeah.
That big $50 thing that literally
It's barely in
Oh,
the
the
had a
giant
0%
thing with like
chance of
the
selling, and
gun
all
hand.
of the tooling
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
wasted. Like, I'm going to
Yeah.
yell my yes, like I am going to yell about that early and often, and to anyone who will listen. The 9 people that actually like that figure, you're toxic. No, like, I'm right. Come on, like, and it's still on clearance. I'm still right. So it's all a matter of perspective too. Like, again, we all live in our little echo chambers, and that's what I really want. I want more followers that will disagree with me,
Mhm.
but they leave. Like, instead of like having constructive
We have Ninja in the chat over here.
conversations.
Yeah, I think I kind of drifted on my answer a little bit to play off of what Jersey was saying. Is I do think like I think it is a small group compared to the rest of us who just mind our own business and enjoy what we're doing and don't give a shit if other people like what we like or whatever. But those people, the loud ones, are the absolute worst thing for the thing they supposedly like. The fanboys make everything worse. And I mean that in a literal sense. If you only praise something and never give it criticism, how could it ever become any better? That's why I started doing the reviews the way I do. Whether it's movies, video games, TV, anything. If you just keep lapping it up, you're going to keep getting what they're giving you. If you say, no, it's no good, or I'm not going to buy it, then it'll improve. So if you actually like something, you should be critical of it. If you want it to get better, you should be critical of it. The fanboys make everything worse, technically. Now, obviously, how many of them are there?
A lot.
Probably not enough to matter, except because of social media, there's enough loud voices that these companies are listening to these loud, small groups and putting out whatever they want rather than what all the rest of the people want. And so that's a real big problem. I think social media and the way these companies use social media to, like, people keep bringing up if you're broke, just say so. Like, these companies know what people are saying in the comments. They understand how to manipulate the masses on social media. And Hasbro's doing it great with their pricing, with their HasLab pricings, with everything that they're doing. Not really, here's our new thing, but we don't have the price for you just yet. We're gonna wait. So either they're waiting for hype to drop a high price and make people buy it anyway because they already committed socially, or they're gonna feel out people and go just below where everybody's saying too much. 50 is too much. Everyone's saying, okay, 45. We'll do 40. Like, they know what they're doing.
I'm still calling Spider-Man at $47.99. That's what it's gonna be.
Okay.
So
Even
So one
even
of
if it's 40, it's still questionable if you ask me. The pack and accessories are worth a nickel. Like even if
Yeah.
you love all of them, they don't
Nickel.
cost anything. Those are the kind of
Yep.
accessories that are simply there to inflate the price. They're not added value. Even if you use them, you're not paying for them. They don't cost anything. They cost almost nothing.
So what G.I. Joe does is even worse because they just put in a whole shitload of reused weapons and then charge 34. So there's really nothing in there, but there's just a lot of it. And so they're like, well, this is a deluxe now. Like, no, it
a
isn't.
lot of gummy
Yeah.
weapons.
I mean, people like those. Like more guns is always good, so that's fine. But like that's for the consumer, it's fine. But you're definitely not. What you're paying in price hike is not equal to the added value in the package. There's just no way.
No
Accessories
way.
are
Yep.
cheap, especially the way Hasbro does them. Hasbro accessories are cheap as hell.
I mean, one of the biggest
Indeed.
complaints I have with when it comes to like the fandom is the fanboys who like blindly follow and criticize when someone comes with an honest opinion or say, hey, something messed up or this is what I think, and it's kind of criticizing the line. They just bully you, overpower you,
attack
and
you.
they attack
Yeah.
you, and
Yeah.
it's just like, whoa, calm down. Like, what the hell just happened? And that's, I mean, it
That's
happens a lot these days. What's up? What'd
That's
you
the
say,
social skills. That's the social
Yeah.
skills he's talking about. Like it's the complete lack of them. And he's right though. Like when you think of like how most of the nerds are, like we seem us four so normal when we're walking around. Like, aside from his Superman hat, would you know any of us are nerds? Like, no, you wouldn't know. You know,
Yeah.
like we don't set. Like, you know how I always use the example of a GameStop. When you walk into a GameStop, there's always someone talking like with that real nerd cadence of like, yeah, I just got this game. It's really good. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like every single time. Like
that was yesterday.
These are the sorts of people that are now on the computer attacking you because your opinion is different.
Yeah.
That's a different topic too. The opinion thing is nowadays everybody thinks opinions are equal to fact, and everybody's opinion is fair and good. And while you can have your opinion, it's not the same thing as fact. Now you can have preferences, and nobody can tell you you're wrong. But if you have an opinion that's wrong, you're just wrong. That's how that works. But nobody understands that these days. Like Spider Shot, the Marvel Legends with the hips that look like Miles. So many people told me, no, it's fine. It's not fine. I don't care if you like it. It's not fine. It is 100% wrong. There's no arguing that, but that's what people online do nowadays. Or it's accurate to the source material. I get that constantly. No, it's not. You can just look at it. I don't see it. Well, you don't see it then, but it's not accurate. But everybody thinks their opinion is right and at least as important as everyone else's. And it's simply not the case. But nobody gets that on the internet because the internet has made everybody the main character. Everybody has main character syndrome nowadays.
Yeah. My opinion's always right. Always.
I mean, Blake's had a good point.
It's actually based on facts. Could be.
Blake is saying, what
That's
if they
the thing
see something
always,
and then put 100% facts emoji at the end of it? Then it's facts, right?
Well, the more emojis in a comment,
That's
the more accurate, the more valid. That's everybody knows
This is known thing.
Absolutely. But no, like whenever I'm making an argument, I always try to use facts. Like that is how you make the strongest argument. So that makes the most sense to me. And most people just they ignore that and they're still working off their feelings, which is a different thing. Sometimes I have big feelings. I always have. I can't help it. So sometimes I get really stupid and emotional and I'm just yelling and I'm not basing it off of anything. And I shouldn't do that. Like I should just use facts.
I will say there's an entertainment side to this, and I've been guilty of giving into the trolls for entertainment value.
Yeah, he has.
But I try not to do that. But like Jersey, when your logo was the Hasbro middle finger, just genius. Like it was just.
And you know why I changed. And you know why I changed that? So I don't think I've ever told anyone this, but I'm going to say it now. I tried to get an interview with Mr. Stevie.
Oh.
And Mr. Stevie was all for it. Like I DM with him, pretty frequently. Like he's a great guy. PR said no.
Mhm.
Because God forbid we get someone with a brain and an actual opinion to interview a Hasbro guy. They don't want that. They want someone to go up there and be like, Mr. Stevie, what is your favorite action figure? Because that matters. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, I want to know why is this stuff coming out when clearly we're not going to buy it? You know, like that's the question that should be asked. But no, we don't get that. It's fucking.
The thing is, if they like these small companies do, like if they had faith in their product and want you to buy what they're peddling, you guys are the ones like these. I mean, obviously they can't dive into all the secrets, but they should have no problem sending you product and having no problems doing an interview with you and being pressed because they know they have the chops to back it up and stuff. But they hide behind a lot of it because they know their shit sucks.
They do.
It's just
Yep.
yeah.
I waited an extra year for a Mezco patented Batman just because Anthony showed me how incredibly shitty the one he reviewed was.
Yeah. You know, I still get shit
And I don't even watch
every
reviews.
time, but anytime I get free stuff, which is very rare, anytime I mention it, there's at least somebody saying I'm shilling for it. It's like, I've said so many bad things about stuff I've gotten for free so many times. I've had companies tell me, hey, can you not publish that? Or can you take it down? No, I will not do
Don't be by
that
now.
because I'm going to do reviews. And I tell them up front, you know, I don't get a lot of free stuff because I say, listen, you can send me whatever you want. I mean, I don't take anything because it doesn't fit my channel, but whatever you want that's
Yeah.
good for my channel, but I'm going to review it. So you have to be okay with that. And a lot of companies don't send me second things, or they just don't do it in the first place. Or some companies do. NECA used to send me all kinds of stuff, and I would shit on the bad ones and say the good ones were good. Now they have new people running things over there, and there's all kinds of problems going on from what I can tell. I don't get anything anymore. Same thing with Bandai, nothing anymore from Bandai. But half the Bandai product is terrible, and I would say it even when I'm getting free stuff, because that's my job. I mean, not getting free stuff, that would be great. That helps my job. But my job is to be honest to my audience. I don't care about the companies. I'm not going to sell out for $50 or $26 if you're a Marvel Legends fan. And it's
soon
just,
to be 30. Soon to be $30.
soon to be more. It's going to keep going up. Marvel
that's
Legends,
so-
the only line that never improves as the price goes up.
Mhm.
That is why, man, like everyone should watch your shit and no one should give you a hard time about it. Like it's so weird to me that they don't understand what you're saying, you know? Like it's wild.
And it's for their benefit. It's like they're in an abusive relationship. It's crazy.
Right? But they'll watch like fucking Dan Who and the MCU collector just be, look how great is it.
There's stuff that you've reviewed, Anthony, where like I've got it in hand and I'm like, I remember your review and I'm like it cannot bother me as much as it would appear like in the review, because it's like, you know, you're like zoomed in, it's a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
But that doesn't sway any of my opinion going into the next review or the next one, because you're very thorough. And like I said, you've shown me things that I didn't even realize, and then now I can't unsee it, and now I want it to be better and stuff like that, because you have a very key eye, especially when you know like body anatomy and stuff, from like sculpting and everything. You point out stuff that, like, sure, maybe 1 out of 3 collectors might not care or notice like the shoulder's not as smaller than the bicep or like whatever, but a lot of people do care and they appreciate it, you know. And
Well, the thing is, like, my job isn't to tell you what to care about. I have to tell you as much as I can. I get comments all the time, oh, you're just nitpicking. I can't be picking nits in a review. I'm going to show you everything.
Yeah,
I might care about it more than you do, and so I talk about it more, but you can decide if you care or not. You might not have a problem with any of the things, but I still told you, and now you know about it. So it's like, why are you upset that I'm
Yeah.
pointing more stuff out? It's for your benefit. If you don't care, great. Enjoy everything. I don't care if you care. I'm trying to help. I don't care about everything I point out either. And half the time I'm saying this doesn't bother me, but it's wrong, or it could have been better. It's like the negativity comes from the other people. I'm just showing you what I have in front of me, and I'm trying to help you make a more informed decision. So it's like, don't care. If you don't care about anatomy, which I get so much in the Marvel group or Marvel collectors, I don't care if the anatomy looks like a comic. It's not a comic. It's a toy. It's like, okay, that's the dumbest argument ever, but if you want that, then fine. Enjoy. But I would rather the things from the comics look like the comics. That's my preference, you know?
That's
and obviously
I second that preference.
Yeah. But like honestly, obviously, like more people agree with you than not. And it's like you were saying, the ones that are the loudest or whatever are the ones that are the obnoxious ones that who say these things. Because you would be crazy to not agree with a lot of this stuff, or at least just be understanding of where you're coming from on it.
Sure. And I mean, I've said things that are really bad figures that I still enjoy. Like, I like some bad figures. I like bad movies too. You know what? They're still bad movies. I still enjoy them. Same thing for the figures. It's harder for me because I can't unsee the things, but that's the way it goes. Like, it's just, you don't have to like everything that's good and dislike everything that's bad, but the review is there for you to decide that. That's all. That's it.
Yeah. Totally.
I still think the Ben Affleck Daredevil was a good movie. I might be the only one who says that.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't think it was Ben's fault that it wasn't good.
I didn't hate the Halo live action.
Which one?
I didn't watch
the new one.
Oh, I couldn't do it, man. They went way too far off script. I couldn't.
I just didn't hate it. Is all I'm saying.
Real quick on this whole thing. The problem is people cannot recognize that negativity is not negativity, or they just perceive negativity in things that are not negative, and that is the whole problem. And it really is stupid, and it's just they're very small-minded, and that's all there is to it. Like, that's
reality behind it. Yeah.
They're just soft. Like, they can't handle it. Like, I don't know why they could not handle your hands on a screen showing them that something is wrong. Like, how does that elicit such a response that you get? You know what I mean? Like, it's insane.
I don't know. I tend to think the people that have the problems, and this is just completely guessing because I have no idea who these people are, and it's a very tiny fraction of the overall audience. And I tend to think it's the kids that all got a trophy. I think it's that generation, that group of people. I don't think it's mostly the older people. And that's really the only two groups that are collecting. It's basically the 80s and 90s kids and then the generation below us, I guess. I think it's those kids. They just can't handle not being validated that what they like isn't good. I think that's it, honestly. I don't think it's a large portion. I want to be fair. I think it's a very small portion. They're just really loud and annoying, which lines up with the everybody gets a trophy group. So I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
We're gonna check for you.
That's probably pretty accurate.
Laser Pants is asking, is it the speak your truth generation?
Your truth. The whole your truth thing. You can have your experience, but the truth is the truth. Whatever happened either did or did not happen, and the action figure is either good or bad in whatever way we're talking about it. Yes, that's how that works.
Articulated Ninja, I would pay for an interview with the Legends guys. I would literally pay Hasbro's PR for it.
Yeah. I'll throw in.
They could not emotionally handle me. Like, they could not. They would not be able to take it. But I would love to.
They would never do it.
I would love to.
They would never do it. They won't even let Shartimus ask
No, they would
questions.
never do. No.
I mean, he did a good job in that, was 2 years ago or whatever interview. He did a good job in that interview, and they couldn't handle that. And he's about as pro Marvel Legends without being right up the. He's like all pro Marvel Legends, and they still couldn't hack it. That's why I've never even bothered to try to even come close to talking to them. It would be completely fruitless. There's no point. No point at all.
Dan's face through that whole interview is great. It's like, Like, it's
Yeah.
awesome. I love it. He did such a great job, and he made such great points. Like when he said, like, I'd rather have quality over quantity. They were like, but you can't have that. Like, that's basically what the
Yeah.
answer was. You can't have that. And that's what all of us want. Like, we just want quality stuff. We want the characters that we actually want. We don't want the next person on a plain body that you've decided should be in Legends. We want Exodus, we want Atuma, we want Mephisto, we want fucking Rachel Summers. Like, we want all of these characters that require you to do a little work. Then we'll pay for them.
Well,
But we don't get that. Instead, we just get the same shit over and over and over.
I just want to be
Terrible.
told why. I just want to know why.
Because they're cheap.
Why could change-
That's really all there is to it.
But the why, like I was saying, could change a lot of things. Like, am I gonna run away from them for knowing the why? No, I would gain more respect for them to tell us the whys.
I don't know. It really depends on what the why is.
Well, yeah, if the why is just
The
too
biggest-
shitty,
yeah.
like we're gonna bleed you dry and never give you what you want, and because you're a stupid idiot and you'll buy anything, like okay.
All right, so let's talk about this for a second. Like, so that's a perfect segue. So, like, they don't finish teams, right? Like, they know for a fact that it's basically all we want. You know, like, if no matter what line you're collecting, just finish the team. But they'll leave them one short for years and years. They'll start a team, then start another team. You know, there's 12 guys in this team. They make 4 of them, and then stop for 6 years.
Yeah.
How do they not understand that if they just finish teams, we'll want the next team? Like,
think the
there's
opposite.
always shit, right? Like, but it makes absolutely no sense. It's the most mind-boggling thing that they do. Like, do they really think that there's a guy out there, like, once you make X-Force feral, I'm done? Like, that person does not exist. Like, they don't. They might say it in the fucking Facebook group, but it's not real. You're not in the Facebook group if all you're waiting for is feral. You're collecting fucking Marvel Legends. Like, you're going to buy shit along the way. So just finish the teams. We'll want another team once it's done. It's not that hard.
It's not just the Marvel. I think that this is what partially hurt the Lightning Collection line was they started too many new Ranger teams, but never. I mean, they finished a few teams, but like honestly, if they would have done MMPR and then Zeo and then the next one and then the next one and then the next one, like, I think it would have had a lot more success because you would have just been clamoring like another team.
I don't think you're right about that one. I got to push back on that one. I think the problem with the Power Rangers line is very few people. I'm guessing. This is just a guess. So don't be offended. I'm telling you, I think you're wrong.
No, go ahead.
I think it's because, like, for me, for instance, I loved Power Rangers as a kid, but I only care about Mighty Morphin. And I think you go a few generations down and nobody's collecting because those people don't collect. You only have
very true,
two generations of collectors who were into Power Rangers. Everyone else is just little kids that don't play with toys. So I don't think they were like, you have to be a hardcore Power Rangers fan from our generation who stuck with it to collect those lines, and that's not going to be enough to carry it for the later.
I
for the later
I can definitely admit that MMPR is definitely their Spider-Man or their Batman. It's the heaviest hitting thing they have for sure. And it does get wildly obscure when you get further on in the generations. There's ones I haven't even watched. So like,
like the Dino Fury and all this other crap. I tried to buy a lot of these for my son, my 8-year-old. I mean, he got into it for a little while, but at the end of the day, he got into Mighty Morphin more because that's something I could relate with him. So I was just like, I'll watch this with you, but I won't watch all the other crap that's there.
Well, there's like 30 teams. There's a ton of them.
Like Space and Neo.
How many of you guys, like, if you were in, like, if you started with Mighty Morphin, how far did you go before you quit? I didn't even get out of. I mean, I finished Mighty Morphin and that was it. I outgrew it. I aged out. I think most people probably did.
Definitely.
And so you just don't have the user base. That's my guess.
So
So
here's how fucked up I am though in this. Like I was so bored during COVID with nothing coming out, and then keep telling me like, oh, this is delayed, the supply chain, blah blah blah, that I literally started collecting the Power Rangers line. So many of them were on clearance. I was like, fuck it, I'm buying them all. And it got to the point where I was actually like just looking at pictures. Like I never saw anything past MMPR. I'm with you. I tried watching In Space. It was terrible. I turned it off. But yet I'm looking at pictures like, I'll buy all these Mystic Force Power Rangers. Just give me all of them and I'll buy them. I don't care. I have no connection to them. I have no idea who they are. Just give me them. I'll take them. So yeah, I'm sick though. Like I have a problem. I'll admit it. And I have sold most of that line. I kept like 2 teams, and I actually made a decent amount of money. Like I was shocked. I figured I would try to sell them and they wouldn't be worth shit. But no, I was selling full teams for like 200 a piece. So I'll take it. Like I didn't pay that for them, so I'll take it.
I mean,
So
there's a crazy obscure world of Power Rangers, because Hasbro just did that auction like a couple months back where they sold the
OG
the
suits
entire lot of all the stuff they owned from MMPR all the way up to 30 seasons, and dude, they made a killing off of that.
Yeah.
Well, I heard the Power Rangers is getting a reboot, and like that's something there's like a new show coming out. They're already looking for actors and for it, and a lot of the Cobra Kai cast is being looked at for it now.
Yeah. Well, they don't need any of the old props and stuff, because this is supposed to be like
Its own new
not
thing, yeah.
based on the Sentai and its original property, like original stories and stuff like that. But
So we have another super chat from Laser Pants for $10.
Jeez.
Read this, Avi. Says Laser Pants. So Laser Pants wants me to read this, and I'm going to read it. So my name is Avi, and Dan Who is a bitch. That's what Laser Pants wants me to read. So I said it. There you go. And you get a video. We're going to go ahead and play.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Hey guys, make sure to check out Figure Fight Club.
There you go.
I guess we can't reach out to Dan Who for Friday.
We can. We'll just say
Don't.
Laser Pants gave us a super chat.
Don't bother. Just don't bother. You'll be wasting everyone's time. Don't bother.
He's clipping that. There you go.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Abby, because all of Bobby's interminglings, because you've come so far. Didn't he lower prices on like by like $1 or $2 on the line? I feel like I remember him saying like he lowered prices.
Dude, I don't look at the price tag when I buy shit from Bobby.
He
That's
did it.
true.
I just,
Sounds fine.
you
You
trust
buy
that he
by the
puts-
pallet.
I just trust that he puts it in the box.
LP would know. In the,
That's
in
an
the
LP
chat.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, I swear, I remember him saying like he was able to lower prices by like $1 or $2.
He said $2. $2.
So there you go. There you go.
$2. Yeah, I was gonna say. I know
Unfortunately.
he said he lowered it on something. Which again, imagine Hasbro doing that. Like never.
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 Yeah. Because again, like, I mean, again, very different in the company size, though. You have to also keep that in mind, right?
It should be the other way around, though.
Yeah, generally the smaller
Yeah,
companies
should be the other way.
charge a premium. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, 100%.
You can tell his nervous system is just unregulated, and he gets too excited. No, bro, it's so much deeper than that.
I've never seen this guy's
Good one,
video,
though.
so I've only heard
Yeah.
things. I don't
Yeah,
know any.
I haven't
I don't
either,
watch
so-
any of these.
Oh
videos.
God,
I
you
don't
have to
know.
watch one. No, you
No,
have
thank
to.
you.
You have
I
to
watch
watch one.
almost no YouTube, and it's definitely not action figure related.
I
stay
can't watch
away from
any
it
more
entirely.
YouTube at this point because my wife is going
That
to
makes
divorce me.
sense. Yeah. Doing it so
Yeah.
much, you gotta have some
No,
me time and just take a break.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
100%.
it is
Uh,
rough.
I mean, we're at that time now. We're on for 3 hours already. So you guys want to keep going, or do you guys want to end it now?
Well, I want
leave
to
it
circle
up to you
back
guys.
to Anthony real quick, just to make sure we got everything when we were talking about Rivals. You said
Okay.
how it started. You said some of your progression. Currently, right now, if there's any what are your plans right now with it? Like right this second, like if you're working on it or it's still in pause, or if you want to share.
Yeah, I can elaborate. Right when all that stuff happened and my whole life changed in every way. It was a very dramatic couple of years. Right at that point, I had just made my first prototypes. I did so much molding and casting by hand, which is such a pain in the ass with silicone molds and resin. It was such a bitch. Anyway, I made a bunch of a handful of prototypes for that video. I was like, all right, we're making some progress. We're really going here. And then it just no time to work on it at all. And developing an action figure line pays zero and is very expensive. So I haven't had the time or desire to work on it since then. The good news is taking a break allows me to reassess things, and I have almost no time to work on it. I have a 2-year-old right now, so I have no free time to work on it. But when I do have any amount of time, I have been tweaking things and changing things. Like if I had gone forward when I was planning to go forward, I wasn't going to have clothing textures and things like that, like cloth and stuff. I have that now, or I was just getting ready to add that in. So I have that going on now. I'm rethinking some engineering. I'm still keeping it super simple. I'm still keeping pinned joints. As of right now, I'm not saying I won't ever change my mind, but as of right now, I don't care how many people complain about it. I'm keeping pinned joints. I have reasons for it. I have a video talking about that. They're more functional in more ways. There are benefits to pinless joints, but they're more functional in more ways. And if you want to customize, they're better. Straight up, you can unpin them if you want to. So I want people to be able to do that. And I personally don't care at all about pins as long as they're not big, garish, ugly things. So I'm leaving those on there.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm tinkering. I'm still tinkering. I'm refining. I'm doing all the kinds of things you don't see Hasbro doing ever. I'm trying to make it as good as I can, as much as I can, and so my plan is to just keep working on it, and eventually, at some point when I have free time, I can really dump a lot more time into it. And we're very close to me contacting a factory and getting actual price quotes for production. And at that point, there'll be a Kickstarter of some kind of crowdfunding to go forward. But my goal was with this line, in terms of the actual, can I make it happen? I wanted to get everything done ahead of time. I don't like these Kickstarters where it just goes up and it says, give us all the money and we're going to try to figure it out. Like, no, I'd like you to figure it out first. And that's what I'm going to do for people who want to support the line. I want it to be, this is what you're getting. Like, it won't be a finished product yet because I don't have the funding, but it'll be as close to that as I can get. I will have as much of it done as I can. I will have done it all by myself so that I have as much control over it as possible. That could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on what you think about my personality. But that's my plan. So hopefully sooner rather than later, it will be a crowdfunded thing that we can go forward with. And it should be, I'm hoping to have 4 to 8 initial releases for like the base. And then if there's like stretch goals, there'll be more. There'll be females, there'll be bigger characters, smaller characters, good variety, a good fun, like an action figure line that's fun like they used to be, just straight up fun to pose, fun to play with. If you're at all interested in ninjas and samurais and like retro futuristic type stuff, then it should just be a whole lot of fun. And with the price as low as I can get it. I used to say it was going to be between $40 to $60, depending on how much I can get in the package that's actually valuable. And obviously I can't tell you how much it's going to cost right now because I'm not at that stage, but that's my aim. You know, nothing fancy, as simple as possible, but as functional as possible. Good paint detail, something that's going to look good on the shelf, but be super fun to handle. There's the elevator pitch. I didn't know I had one, but that's it, apparently.
You could clip that. That's perfect.
I wish you the best of luck with that, man. Like, yeah, you're a good dude, and I really hope that this is so successful. I really do. I'm in.
Thank you.
It did look really cool, so I enjoyed looking at the video that you had posted.
Thank you. I appreciate that. If it does work out, and I know at this point we don't need any more of this, but my ultimate goal when I started doing action figure customs and decided I was going to eventually have my own action figure line and my own company, if it goes that far, is to get licenses for things like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and all the stuff that everybody's doing now.
Oh, man.
So maybe
Yeah.
there won't be a need for it at that point. But
Yeah.
hopefully someday we
No,
can
no,
get a
no, no,
nice
no, no, no.
cohesive set of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat figures. That's what I want to
That
do.
would- yeah.
We still need 112 scale Mortal Kombat. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah. That's
We don't
what I
have
wanna
that
do.
yet.
Yeah.
That's a long
yeah, do
ways
that.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long ways off. Oh, and Soul Calibur. I want to do
No,
that.
no,
too.
but
I don't
do
know if
that.
anybody
I
cares
really,
about
I
Soul
really
Calibur.
do want.
Go ahead. Jersey.
I really want Mortal Kombat figures. So
Yeah.
just please, you do that. You follow me on Instagram, and I will buy everything you make. How's that? Is that a deal?
Yeah, sure.
You can always
Right
get
on.
the Sub-Zero.
Bro.
But yeah, we're way,
Not
we're
that.
way
No,
off.
no, no, no. You can't
It
have
goes
that.
this far.
I know this all sounds like pipe dreams, and it is to some extent, but I've come a lot. Like I've got a line of action figures digitally right now. I did it. I made them 3D to some extent with 3D printing and whatnot. So it's possible I can get this to happen. Other guys have done it. So what the hell? I might as well throw my hat in the ring and see what I can produce. And a lot of people are saying, "Well, put your money where your mouth is." Okay, I will do that.
I mean, it's
See how it
goals, man.
goes.
Goals. Go with the goals and see where it takes you.
Well, it seems like it's all just working out the way it's
I don't
like,
even know why
intended
anyone
to.
would say that.
Because I said their figure was bad
Like,
that they bought
again,
one
your
time.
standards are
That's it.
so high. Like, I trust you. Like,
I will do the best I can. There will be budgets. Nothing will be perfect. Nothing will even be the way I want it perfectly. I mean, it just
Yeah.
you can't. But I will do the best I can for the product and for the customer. It'll never, no matter how big I get, it'll never be a public company. It'll never be any of those sorts of things. It's gonna be what people want to buy. Like that's it.
Yeah.
That is it. It has to make
Man,
money. I won't get more than 1 or 2 boats. It's gonna be something straightforward and simple. That's it.
You're not gonna buy a yacht.
I can't
I
think
think
of
2
another
smaller
person
boats.
that I would
Okay.
want to build my figure. You know what I
There you
mean?
go.
As far as like with as much detail and passion and eye for detail. Well, I said detail, but you know what I mean. Like I'm just really looking forward to the line. You know.
Yeah.
Thanks. One other thing, I'll just make this as part of the pitch since people are listening, and I've been rambling for a while now.
Now
I'm
I am,
not
too.
banking on I'm a YouTuber, buy my thing. It's not
Oh,
that
no,
at all.
no,
It's
yeah.
I've been making action figures, Frankensteining them, customizing them, designing them for a long ass time. I've been taking them apart for a long time, whether it's with the reviews or doing customs or whatever. I know what I'm doing in terms of designing these things to make them the way I want and to make them as functional as I can. It's not just here, some guy who worked for some company somewhere, make me some more figures that look like those. It's not like that. This is a purely passion-based, experience-based project. Like it's exactly what, if I was going to buy something, it's exactly how I would want to buy it. That's how I'm trying to aim
Yeah.
it. So
Mm.
hopefully it works out.
And you guys, if you go back, I mean, I've watched the whole series where you have hours and hours of just ZBrush and you're just sculpting.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
like I watched a lot of that.
Yeah,
So
I used to do it. It was like 4 hours, 3 times a week until I
Yeah.
stopped doing it. Yeah, it was like I was letting people watch the whole process
Yeah.
and have input and talk about it and everything. And before they go to production, I'm going to go back to doing that because it's the only way I can actually make myself do the work. I just won't set the time aside. So I'm going to go back to doing that and you guys will get to see. It's boring. Like it's a slow, tedious process. But yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, I don't know why you would be, but come by at least
I was
for a
watching
few
it because
minutes.
I was interested in the ZBrush program. And,
Yeah.
but it's pretty hard.
Those bastards sold out. They used to be like such a great kind of like grassroots sort of company, and then they sold to this big company, and now it's a subscription based bullshit. I hate that kind of stuff.
God. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a complex program. It's like 1,000 steps to do everything. But if you're interested in watching that kind of stuff, you can watch action figures get designed whenever I get back to doing it, or go back and watch the old ones. They're old, but you could do
Mhm.
it. Yeah. That was a lot of talking. Sorry, I took over all the time.
No,
No, not at all.
very
This is
informative.
great.
You
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
100%.
Can we talk about this answer in the chat right here? Anyone know the next GI Joe HasLab? The answer: an overly expensive vehicle from people's use that will take a year to come out and have some QC issues. What a great answer that is.
Double J is known for some great answers.
I love that. That was good. Good job, Double J.
Speaking
Good
of
shit.
HasLab, we are giving away.
He's not fucking wrong. No, you're not.
We are giving away a HasLab at 1,000 subscriber mark. If we can make it by March 7th, that's exactly, I guess, a month from now. We will give at 1,000 subscriber mark, we'll give a HasLab Dragonfly, brand new in box, never been opened. And we just unlocked Odious at the 700. We have a lot more giveaways to go. There'll be extras, as you can see right here as well, for the giveaway party. And
you'll get there.
I guess, yeah, it'll happen. No, I appreciate you both jumping on 100%.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
I really appreciate you having me, and I appreciate you having me on with this guy. Like this was wonderful.
This was well thought out.
It was.
It really was. Everyone said that we would get along, Anthony, and I mean, I think they were right.
I think that's probably accurate. Yeah.
We are of the same mind, sir.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be rare. That's the thing that drives me nuts.
Good stuff.
We're spending so much money on little pieces of plastic.
I hear you, man. I do.
Shouldn't they have to earn it? Why don't these companies have to earn our money?
And yet we don't
have to.
Yeah. 100%. Now, do you guys want to give some shout outs? Anthony, you can start.
I don't know who.
Check out Anthony's Customs.
You mean like for myself? I just spent so much time talking about myself. Yeah, I mean, my YouTube channel, Anthony's Customs.
And then
that's it. I don't do the whole YouTube. Like I don't play the whole social media game. So I didn't even realize what you were asking. Yes, you can follow me on social media.
All the pointing.
You'll find it if you search Anthony's Customs. I don't even know what the handles are exactly.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Jersey, how about you?
All right, Jersey Maniac __ collector on Instagram. Even if you don't agree with me, follow me. I want constructive conversation. So come on, let's go. Let's stop being awkward nerds and let's actually talk like people. What do you say? I'm all for it. So come on. And if you agree with me, follow me as well. I love it.
Yeah.
Right? It ain't gonna happen. Right? I'm tired of my own echo chamber though. It's nice, but I also don't want it. Give me some other views. Let's go. Thank you, Double J. Thank you. Jersey Maniac _ collector on fucking Instagram. Let's go.
And you're
subscribe to me as well on you. I don't make a lot of YouTubes because it is so much work. Like, I don't know how you guys do this all the time. Like, it is so much work, and I work, and like, he is talking about that brick wall before. I walk outside of work, I make an Instagram, I go back in, like, that's perfect.
Well, so, it's my understanding
Instagram
you save
is where I am
the YouTubes for when the topic is so great, it breaks out of the constraints of Instagram that it needs the longer format.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
the,
true. But again, like then it's just me ranting. Like I would actually rather come on like shows like yours, you know what I mean? Because then it like breaks it up and it doesn't seem as jarring. Like I'm a lot, so it doesn't seem as jarring. A rant about Legos though. It's gonna be a good one. Because I am real good and mad at Lego right now, so that's gonna be a good one.
Okay. Brandon.
Yeah.
What did we just say? 750 is coming up soon. We hit the 700. 750 unlocks Mezco Wolverine, if I'm not mistaken. It's a pretty good figure. So subscribe. This is where you find us. Tuesday coming up next. Friday's here.
Open mic night is on Tuesday, guys, and then Friday we have to find a new guest because I just got a message from our guests for next week saying that they're
Dan, who's
change
out?
of plans.
Dan,
Maybe I'll
who's
reach
out?
It was Dan Who. I'll reach out to Dan Who to see if he wants to jump in.
Or Dan.
But we'll find a guest by next week.
I would love to come on. I would love to come on again. So you just
Okay.
give me
Oh,
instead
yeah.
instead of what you normally do, Mr. Sunglasses, of hey, what are you doing this Friday? Don't do that. Tell me like, hey, would you like to come on in 3 weeks? And then
Yeah, we'll give you enough
Okay.
time to get our shit together.
And Anthony, again, you both
Yeah.
are actually really welcome to jump on back again.
Yeah, for sure.
We love having repeats, and I mean, at this point, Laser Pants is like our regular now. So I'm surprised he didn't jump on this stream, to be honest with you, because he normally likes to jump in on some of the bigger profile streams, except for Sharnimus. I didn't let him jump on the Sharnimus one.
Oh, why not?
Dude, that is, right? Like the one
Yeah.
thing I'll tell you, like the one thing I really appreciate about Laser Pants is his ability to hold a grudge. Like he just never lets it go, and they just keep going, and it's really impressive. Like just when you think it's over, nope, it's still going.
Damn, Blake is really missing Zakanin right now. Dude, he's probably watching Highly Posable right now. Zakanin doesn't watch our show. He only
I
watches
thought
the
it was date nights on Friday. I thought you were gonna say he was watching The Notebook or something.
No, he's done by 10 o'clock. He's watching
Oh.
watching Highly Posable. I already know it. But no, again, yeah, you guys are both welcome to come back anytime. Appreciate
for
it.
sure.
Well, if I ever come back, I'll definitely
Thank
do
you.
some like a post or something about it. I didn't do that at all this time because I didn't have any time or wherewithal to do that. So I just kept accepting whatever you were posting and including me in. So I'll
Dude,
try
hey,
to get
listen,
a little bit more
I
audience
appreciate-
coming next time if
I
I can.
appreciate the fact that you accepted all the
The
collabs.
collab.
Yeah, because I went hard on you guys, and 3 is a lot for me. Because I hate self promoting. It's a talk. I don't
Yeah,
like
you
it.
got to do it. They say.
But it's
I-
a necessary evil. Like you have to do
Yeah.
it. But like I don't
Yeah.
like doing it, but you have to do it. So yeah.
Yeah. Next time I'll post something. I don't
That's
do
why I
much
don't
on
do it
Instagram
because
really.
it's just
So
such a daunting
Yeah.
task. So yeah, he did a great
yeah.
job.
But it is a necessary evil because it does help spread the message. So I get that.
Yeah. I'll try to help next time.
See, even J-Max,
I
like,
agree
3 is
with
love
John
for
here.
anybody.
How do you guys? Nice.
Exactly. But
Honored.
again, thank you guys for having.
I agree with this guy though.
being
How
on.
do you guys not have 1,000? Like I agree. Like it's
We're working our way up. I mean, we're a new channel, right?
Yeah.
We're two months and a weekend.
Yeah, this is only episode 10.
Yeah, that's pretty good growth. That's pretty good growth.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
But
so
like
we're
already I
pushing
can tell just from being here. Already I can tell that like you're a good channel. You're not one of the shitty channels. So therefore you should already have 1,000. You know what I mean?
We'll get there.
Just by
over
pure
time.
logic. Yeah.
You'll get
Over time. Time is
right.
time is
Well,
the essence, right?
well-
That's how it works. But again, thank you,
You could
guys
buy
very
your
much.
followers like Viper Island did. You could try that.
No, we don't want to. I mean,
Always
we
an
are
option.
technically buying them by giving away stuff, right?
The giveaways are a good strategy. Can't
Ah,
argue with that.
we
They
do
are.
give away a lot
They
of stuff.
definitely are.
Yeah. But again, thank you guys again. We'll
you.
figure out a VIP for next week, and then we'll kind of go from there.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been awesome. Thank you.
Awesome combo.
We'll see you guys on the internets.
All right, see ya.
Take care. Peace.
Been a pleasure. No. See ya.
As we wrap up tonight's fun, the figures in talk, so we've just begun. Join us next time for thrills anew. In the world of Figure Fight Club, it's all for you. Make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. See you next week on Figure Fight Club, stay strutting. this isn't goodbye, it's just a see you later. In the meantime, go check out another creator. We'll keep your figures on display until we gather here someday. Remember the tales and the laughs we shared. Here at Figure Fight Club, you're treasured and cared.